speaker box loud, hitting that stuff till you hear that sound.
Covered.
Welcome to a brand new year. The magnificent thing about a new season is it starts anew for everybody. We got some great battles and some great information to update you on as we welcome you to Delano, California, this heavy agricultural district. But today it'll be the hotbed of speed because FMF presents the Rocky Mountain NGPC series hosted by SoCal MC. Hello everybody. Boy, we've got a lot to talk about and we've got some entertaining racing for you. We are moments away from call-ups where we will meet the 2025 field, where the big question is, can anybody stop the dominance of your returning five-time champion KTM's Dante Oliveira? My name is Jack Corpelli, alongside Jack Corpelli. I mean, wow, that was a combination of Corpella and Tilly. I got far into that one. No, have not been drinking yet this morning. My name is Jack Corpella. Thank you very much. Alongside our resident guru, Mr. Mark Tilly. Mark, maybe I'm still a little rattled from the opportunity I had to ride around this track because I got to say, this thing is wide open. This thing is nuts. I know you were out there yesterday, and there's a lot to be excited about, isn't there?
Yeah, no, the SoCal MC did a great job on this course this morning. I got to ride it again today. Went a little bit better today than it did yesterday, but yeah, I mean, agricultural area, like look at the green hills. I didn't realize how much elevation change there was until I saw that opening drone shot. And I've been here all weekend and riding the track and all kinds of stuff. And it's nice that you got a chance to ride the track to see exactly what we're talking about. And it's going to be a great event, like you said. Can anybody beat the defending champ? We talked to him a little bit yesterday, and he seems like he's ready. And then even in the 250 class, can anybody beat the returning champ, Mason Simmons? I don't know. They couldn't do it last year, so we'll see if they can do it this year.
We could ask the same question in the women's category as well with KK, Moto KK. Can anybody stop her dominance as we give you a look at some tremendous aerial coverage today? Big shout out to Ross Fitz, Aaron Kennard Productions out here doing it once again. We're so happy to be on board for the 2025 season. We want to thank Honda, our official sponsor of today's live stream. Guys, we're going to hit all these sponsors throughout the broadcast and make sure you support those who support the sport. They're the reason we're back, like Skaggs Racing, like Seat Concepts, and everybody else a part of this. Now, what you're looking at, I got to tell you, I have the utmost respect for these riders. Having had the opportunity to go out there yesterday, I've got a whole new respect. I figured this track would be a lot more outdoor motocross-esque. I'm talking about blue groove. I'm talking about concrete sections. It's a lot like road racing in some of those sections, Mark.
Yeah, and you got to ride it yesterday after a lot of people have been on the track. The track today is a lot better, a lot more moisture in there. It's not as blue groove yet because there hasn't been as many people on there. Like we're looking at on board with Trevor Hunter. This starts on the back straight, and this straightaway, you're wide open. Whether you got 5 gears, 6 gears, 7 gears, you are wide open going over this stuff. You get about to this point and your bike starts hitting a rev limiter. And if you're doing it the right way, and then you kind of come into a little bit of an off camber turn to where this kind of comes back into more of the motocross course. We'll see a little bit later on that the pro pit will be a little bit down the road here, and as you can see, this is on board from Trevor probably early in the morning, maybe not though. This is closer to the conditions that you wrote it in, Jack. But so sweeping outside lines, this kind of comes into a little roller section, kind of uphill roller section, and then it goes back down and then kind of works its way back up. But this is I guess what they would call the motocross section of this Grand Prix course. And then a lot of the other courses like comes into some bigger jumps right here. Nothing like you were mentioning. Nothing that will kill you kind of if you don't make it all the way. He came up a little bit short on that one, it looks like. But then so you make the right, and the pro pits are going to be off to your left. This drops down and then kind of goes up a double and some rollers in here. But so you're seeing the pro pits off to the left hand side. But a lot of line selection that you can do going through this. This kind of weaves it back. I know that the club did a lot of work to kind of slow this racetrack down. They're kind of limited on what they can do because this year we didn't get a lot of rain. We actually haven't gotten any rain this year. So this is going to be a unique course for these guys coming back with not having any moisture in the ground and this being agricultural area. So this is kind of coming back along. If you look to the right, that's where we started the video of them coming back the other way. So he's coming back the other way. It's not as high speed, but these guys are going to be topped out going into there. So
it is so impressive. And it just, for the average fan watching at home too, major pucker factor here that it is really about who can hold it wide open. And you don't know what's coming up. You don't know how the track has changed. You don't know where the slick spots are. So it's really just total trust in your skill, your bike setup, and being able to hold this thing wide open.
Yeah, well, and you look at stuff like this, this particular shot reminds me of that old Fox ad, that Dream On Fox ad, where it's just rolling hills and just looks like fun. What you don't realize is how much off camber stuff there is. Like most of these turns, especially down to the left, a lot of those turns are off camber, so you can't really. And then on the right after the start, you kind of make a big left. All of those turns are kind of off camber, so it's a fun course. They did a great job, and I can't wait to see what these elite athletes can do.
I love it. Thumbs up to our camera crew. They're ready for the 2025 season. These riders are ready for the 2025 season. Unfortunately, last year we were bummed. We lost Pervine's Yamaha. We want to continue to send thoughts and prayers to that whole organization. But you know what is wonderful? When one leaves, one comes in, and we are so delighted this year to have one of the biggest names in dirt bike racing, Pro Circuit. Mitch Payton's team is out here stepping up big time with Giacomo Redondi, and there has been a lot of talk and a lot of anticipation for their arrival. And I know yesterday, Mark Tilley, you actually got to speak with Pro Circuit. Let's take you to that and find out a little bit more about this great team. And I believe we will have that for you here in just a second. We will have that for you in just a second as we continue to take a look. This is the Yamaha finish line right here. But, Mark, as I was talking about, to have a guy like Bones out here, an absolute suspension legend, tuning on Giacomo Redondi's bike, what a benefit for all of us here in this series.
Yeah, and Bones the last couple of years has been out here in general, helping out his grandkids. And so it's funny because I was giving him a bad time about it. I was like, okay, so when's the race team coming? And I was joking and saying, when's his race team coming? And I didn't mean when are you going to bring out a race team, but he was a pivotal part in this. And so it's definitely a cool thing. And we're blessed as a series to have that crew here and, move on.
No doubt about that. We will try to get to that piece later on. But first, I think it's time to meet our field. We've got call-ups coming. as we get to meet the superstars of the 2025 NGPC Racing Series. I will wait for confirmation to make sure they are 100% ready to go. And we'll start with our pro women. As again, we want to thank all the wonderful sponsors here. I know that they're lining everybody up. And I think we are ready to go, ladies and gentlemen. So without further ado, who's ready to get the 2025 campaign started AMA NGPC style? And we begin with our pro women, ladies and gentlemen. Let's meet your defending champion out of Riverside, California, on her Honda CRF 250 for Monster Energy SLR Honda. Here is Michaela Moto KK Nielsen. The big number one makes her way down the hill, and she will select her starting position, and followed closely by the one and only very, very talented rider out of Redwood City, California, aboard a Gas EX250F. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Ava Silvestri. Should be a great battle between these two all year. We've got other tough riders to meet as well. She rides the number 15 for Team KTM. Here is Ashley Gage. On the number 89 Yamaha, let's hear it for Mackenzie Caver Hill. And ladies and gentlemen, those are your pro women competing here today. Some of the fastest ladies in the world. Trust me, ladies brave enough to hold it wide open. It is now time to turn our attention to the Pro 2 250 category. He comes in as the defending champion. What a run it was in 2024. All the way from Melbourne, Australia on his KTM 250 XCF. Here is Mason Simmons. Out of Simi Valley, California on his Kawasaki KX 250X. Came so close to a title last year, once won this year. Let's hear it for the Cowboy, Colton Eck. Another individual with high expectations out of Temecula, California. Very talented on his Husqvarna FC 250. Out of Three Bros, Hatch Husqvarna. Here is Kai Aiello. In the number 4 spot today, out of Carson City, Nevada, also on a Husqvarna FC 250. Let's hear it for the one and only Ryder Tomaselli. Out of Murrieta, California, on a Husqvarna FC 250 out of Gainslinger Human Performance. Here is Cole Zeller. This man comes all the way from Australia as well, aboard a Husqvarna FC 250. Is your 2024 National Hare and Hound Champion. Here is Sam Bretschar. Out of Pinion Hills, California, on a KTM 250 XC. Here is Tristan Alvarez. Rider of a Yamaha YZ250FX. Let's hear it for the 159 of Justin Patton. And in the number 9 spot today, he rides the 185 for Team Gascast. Here is Zachary Curling. And that is your very game and talented 250cc lineup for today. We now turn our attention to Open Pro, the big boys. And ladies and gentlemen, as I told you, the big storyline coming into this season, can anybody stop the dominance of our defending champion? He comes from Hollister, California. He's aboard a KTM 450 XCF out of factory Red Bull. He is the five-time champion. Ladies and gentlemen, the dominant, incomparable, ultra-fast Dante Oliveira! anybody stop him? That's the question. Well, don't sleep on this man because he showed us what he's got last year, scoring the first NGPC win for Factory Beta. He wants more in 2025 out of Lincoln, California. Let's hear it for the 200 of Dare D. Martil. This gentleman also hails from Hollister, California. He is the brother of Dante, and he has stepped up in a big way out of Factory Red Bull KTM. Let's hear it for the 831 of Mateo Oliveira. And ladies and gentlemen, we've talked about this new team. Mitch Payton's Pro Circuit team is here. This gentleman comes all the way from Italy on a Pro Circuit. Kawasaki, big expectations for the three-time World Enduro Champion. Let's hear it for Giacomo Redondi. In the number 5 spot today on a Honda CRF 450 RX out of Monster Energy SLR Honda, the always fast Tyler Lynn. In the number 6 spot today out of Corona, California, he rides the Honda CRF 450 RX for Monster Energy SLR. Always a player, always tough. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Ryan Surratt. And in the number 7 spot, making his Open Pro debut on a Kawasaki, let's hear it for the 192 of Jake Alvarez. Rounding out today's field in Open Pro, number 239 on a Yamaha, let's hear it for Hayden Flores. And just like that, Mark Tilley, I got goosebumps. This is what we've waited for. The short off season is over. SoCal MC is here. We are ready to rock and roll. We are ready to kick off a brand new season of racing.
Yeah, no, look at that line. That's stacked. It's great. We have returning people. We have brand new people to the series. We have brand new people with JP Alvarez stepping up to the Open Pro class. There's some new faces in the Open Pro class. Some of the guys that we didn't get to announce. It's definitely a cool thing. New teams coming out, so this is gonna be awesome.
Well, speaking of new teams, Mark, let's try to take you to that Magic Pro Circuit feature where you were able to talk to Bones and crew yesterday about this awesome squad. About what this team is all about. Bones, how did this come about?
Well, Mark, that's a good question. I mean, a few things happened. You know, we've been coming to these races for a little bit with the grandkids and noticed a lack of Kawasaki presence here. You know, they sponsor the series. They have a really good contingency program, but the lack of riders. So the NGPC guys came to me, talked to me. Some of the guys at Kawasaki, I started making some phone calls, talked to Mitch, talked to Ryan Holiday, Derek Natvig, and within a matter of like 2.5 months, this thing started coming together. We needed someone to run the team. So I approached Billy Fulmer. He has a really good background. He's passionate about doing this. He and his wife, Kelly, wanted to do this, but it came together relatively quick with the help of Kawasaki. They wanted to get back involved. Ryan Holiday, Bruce Sternstrom, Derek Natvig. And obviously we couldn't have done this with a lot of other sponsors' help. First of all, Precision Coatings, Billy's company. Dunlop came through with tires. All of these people came through last minute, but Dunlop, Maxima, Acerbis, Renthal, Hinson, Ty Davis came through with a lot of parts for us. Modified Machine Works, Kite, Arc Levers, IMS, Extrig, and Throttle Syndicate with some awesome graphics.
So now you talked about Billy, and he's the owner of the team and the manager of the team and doing everything. So you're just here on the outside. You're helping some of your grandkids out and all that kind of stuff. So let's talk to Billy. Let's get you out of. Let's get Billy in here and let's talk to him to see what's going on. So what did you think when Bones first came to you and said, "Hey, are you willing to do this? What's going on?"
I was excited about it, but I thought he was maybe drinking too much that day. But seriously, he when he called me on the phone and said, you know, he did exactly that. Said, "Hey, think about it. Tell me what you think," because it's a big commitment. And I've never run a team. I've ridden and raced like we all have. I love racing. I love Kawasaki's. And I'm a big Pro Circuit fan. And so when he came to me, I was like, "That sounds great." And then I started thinking, man, I don't know if I can do it. It's a lot to do, and it has been a little bit overwhelming at times, but we got here. We're ready to go. We had a great, with Giacomo Rodandi riding. I was like really excited about that. And you asked the question earlier about growing this. That's my whole thing is I want to have some amateur program start here. Like you see in Supercross, these guys are starting on amateurs and they move to the pros. And they have great pro careers. I think it'd be really cool if we could start that kind of thing for off-road NGPC, have an amateur program that they come from the amateur and go to the pro ranks, and we're helping them do it.
All right, well, we've talked to Bones, talked to Billy. Now let's talk to their rider. Giacomo Rodandi is their rider. Come on over, Giacomo. I heard that you might have a new nickname from Bones. Guacamole or something like that?
My name is too difficult.
So Giacomo is their rider. He was riding Gas last year and some other stuff before. He actually won the last round of the NGPC at Havasu. So now you're on a green bike. So you got to chase me on a green bike, and so now you just decided you'd join the team. So how did this all come about?
So, hi everybody, and at first I want to say thanks to Billy and Bones because I think they put a good program, and for sure to Kawasaki that help us. And yeah, I'm super stoked. As soon as I jump on this green bike, I love it since the beginning, and now I think we need to adjust little things, but I think the base it's pretty solid, and I think all the things that we was hearing about this bike were. We got it covered, so thank you also for the start advice. And yeah, I'm super stoked to be here and looking forward to be up front in the main race.
So now, won the last round, going into the opening round. No pressure at all. What are your expectations for this year with this new team?
So it's difficult to try to be at 100% since the beginning, but I think we are pretty close to that. So let's hope on a good start. And I train very, very hard this winter, and I'm not gonna fade. So let's try to get a good start and to hold it.
So there you have it. Pro Circuit's back. Kawasaki's back. They got Giacomo riding for this year. He might be back. You never know. He might be able to win some more of these races like he did last year, and we're looking forward to seeing what he can do for the rest of 2025.
Well, great job with that, Mark, and we are so happy to have Pro Circuit on board. I say let's just keep building this series bigger and badder. Let's get all these teams out here as we take a look at what is going to be an absolutely packed starting grid.
Yeah, and I'll contest. He definitely has been training really hard because he walked away from me yesterday. He made me look like an amateur. So it definitely, if he can get a start and he can get his starts down and get up front early, I think he's got a new rejuvenation for riding motorcycles. And I mean, when you have somebody like Pro Circuit and Team Green behind you, it's kind of hard not to have a rejuvenated attitude.
Yeah, we've always known Giacomo is really, really fast, but I think he impressed both of us at the Vet Nationals last year. What a breakthrough performance where he was one of the fastest guys on the property amongst some really talented riders.
Yeah, no, he in late in the day put it to Phil Nicoletti, who is just retired from from professional racing, and
I got a story for you.
I remember talking to Phil about it, and he's going, yeah, I don't know why that guy was so excited in the last part of the race, because he made me have to go fast for the whole race. So shout out to Giacomo of running him down.
Well, wait till you hear this one. You're going to laugh. Not my fault. The producer's fault. The track's fault. We handed Phil Nicoletti $500 cash for fast lap. Giacomo told me yesterday that was actually him who won the fast lap, and he's still hunting down Phil Nicoletti to get that $500 back.
Yeah, he texted me and was like, "Hey," and he sent it to me, and I feel bad, but we went by what the track said and what the scorer said, so we're still trying to figure out a way to get him a little bit of that. I think it was like a $500 fast lap or something like that, so maybe we'll be able to figure something out and kind of go from there. But he has impressed the last part of last year, and then this opportunity, working with Bones and working with Billy, and I talked to Billy a little bit more, and he is an avid fan of the sport. He raced, he's all that. There's people coming up to me talking about, oh yeah, Billy got me back out here, and stuff like that, and it's great to see. I can't wait to see this team develop, and from what Billy's saying, like, bring in some amateurs and do some stuff like that. I think his son is also riding on the team, if I believe I heard that right yesterday, so it's all kind of cool. A couple years ago, I was the only one on a Kawasaki here, and it was one of our test bikes for the magazine. And now you look down there, and there's a lot more Kawasaki's. There's a lot more Kawasaki's on the grid. They're paying really good contingency. Yamaha's paying really good contingency. Honda's out here, KTM's out here, so it's just a great thing for the sport, and I can't wait to see what progresses.
Well, we know in any form of motorsports, cubic dollars are key, and smart racers will figure out ways to cash in on all those bonus bucks. They definitely help, especially with increasing travel expenses and everything that a racer must endure to compete for a championship at a very, very high level. Well, we are getting so close to going green on this brand new season. Cannot wait. Again, we want to thank all the wonderful sponsors that are along with us, and please do us a favor. If you're watching this live coverage, we want as many views as we can, so give this a share. Let your friends know we're live as engines start to come to life. And right now, if you're watching on YouTube, without skipping ahead, whether you're watching this live or on demand, I want to know your pick for the 2025 championship. Will anybody be able to stop the dominance of Dante Oliveira? We got Dare on the 200 Beta. We got Giacomo on the 18. Tyler Lynn, Ryan Surratt, plenty of people that have the speed to do it. I'm going to put you on the spot, Mark Tilley. Can anybody break up this KTM dominance?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that I think it's going to be kind of hard, but if Dare gets off to a start, it'll be a good thing. And beating Mason in the 250 class, I think Colton might have it at this one, but I got to give a shout out to my eldest son, Jacob Tilley, who is, I know, watching on YouTube right now, watching the live feed. I got to give him a shout out. He's recovering from surgery from Friday. Had a plate and 7 screws put in his collarbone, so he's itching to get back here. Mom wouldn't let him kind of come out and ride right after surgery, so she made him stay home. But shout out to him, and hopefully he's feeling better and not on the pain meds anymore. But it's he can't wait to get back on the bike. So I know that's how all these guys out there are. So it's definitely all these guys want to get back on the bike as soon as they hit the ground. They're like, how long is it going to be till I get back on the motorcycle? And that's when you know that someday they'll be lining up on this line.
Get well, Jacob Tilley. We can't wait to have you back out here. That is part of the sport, injuries, unfortunately, and that is what makes it so impressive. What these riders are able to do. It'll be a dead engine start. Remember, they must kill the motorcycle. They'll wait for the light to turn green, and they'll start it up and race into that first turn. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Just about to start. 5 season, we are off. Watch that number 1 of Dante Oliveira. Will he pick up right where he left off? Yes, he does. Ground, wait a minute, to the inside. Is it Mateo, his brother? Here comes Dare DeMartille. Factory Beta, we got 2 KTMs running 1 and 2. Here comes that Beta. Tyler Lynn, not far behind. We are off and running, and Dante quickly picks up where he left off. But oh, look at this early battle shaping up. Here comes our Pro 2 start. Keep an eye on the KTM here as well. Your defending champion, Mason Simmons, on third spot. Dead engine start. They must wait for the light to turn green. We're off again. Big jump by Simmons. Can Simmons get there first? Watch Kai Aiello out there. No, I believe Simmons got the whole shot. So, Mark, here we go. I'm having amnesia. Our two champs so far got it. We'll see if Moto KK can do the same in the pro women's start. But clearly, the number one plates are shining in this early season. Whoa! Might have just given them the announcer jinx.
Well, and they went out and not diss the track, but drug the track and kind of with one of the big machines. And you can see on some of those outsides, it's a little chunky. And then,
Ava Silvestri trying to put some heat, maybe send a message to Moto KK. She said, I've seen enough of this number one plate stuff. Ava Silvestri out with the whole shot, but here comes Moto KK right around her. Look for this to be a good battle all season long. These two very, very talented young ladies out there giving it everything they got.
So yeah, like I was saying, where KK went to the outside right there, some of that stuff is chunky now, whereas it made good berms before. Like, so last time these guys were these women too, were on the track, it was a lot easier just to go around the outsides, and some of those have changed. So we'll see. Whoa, Yamaha jumping out. Whoa. Huge hole shot.
I'm sure we got a set of eyes on that with SoCal MC and the NGPC officials. Looks like everything kosher at this point. Didn't jump to start. We got multiple different categories here competing. We'll keep you abreast of those. And also want to give a big shout out to all the competitors stepping up. Here, we talked about Jake Alvarez. This is his Open Pro debut. A few other riders making their Open Pro debut. Jackson Gaither's making his Pro 250 debut. Noah Gardner and Dustin Davis. It is wonderful to see this ladder system working and individuals stepping up into the big classes.
Yeah, no, it's definitely nice to see. I think that person getting that big hole shot was David Fry aboard his Yamaha. It's X989. So we'll see if he can stay out front. But yeah, moving back, as they move back, a lot of these guys are people that are just coming into this class or coming into an hour-and-a-half race. And the difference between a 45-minute race or a 50-minute race and an hour-and-a-half race is night and day.
Yes, it is. One more class to blast off the line, and then it will be a fight to the finish.
And I think this is the 30A class, or it might be the plus 25A class. Our buddy Trevor Hunter will be in this one.
Yeah, Trevor Hunter, keep an eye on the 22 and his brand new Kawasaki. Looking for big things this year. It's great to see some of the kickstart bikes come off the line. That is cool. Got to be a major disadvantage, though, when you're doing a dead engine start to have to kickstart your bike vis-a-vis hitting that starter button.
Yeah, and sometimes it is, but I think sometimes it's you know when that bike starts because you can feel it a little bit better than you can with an electric start bike. But it looks like these are the Oliveira brothers out front. In that last, the plus 25A class, it looked like that was Nick Nye getting the whole shot. Nick doing lots of stuff, a local in Blythe actually. So his hometown race next about a couple weeks from now. So
that's where we'll be for round number 2. So we are off and running. 2025 season officially underway. Let's give you the 411 if you're new to the series. We've got about a 7-mile course here. This will be a minimum of 90 minutes. They take a look at lap time, and they will make sure that we go over the 90-minute mark. They make a determination on when to throw the white flag. That they've said if the leaders are going to finish at 89 minutes, they'll make sure they go one more lap. So it will be a minimum 90 minutes. We will see pit stops. These bikes are not able to make it the whole way on fuel, and that's always the big question for us, Mark, is when will we start to see riders come in? Because I would say the last few rounds, we've seen a lot of different pit strategies. Some guys coming in early, just like in NASCAR. Some guys staying out for position. It's always a very intriguing part of the sport.
Yeah, and this is the sections that we saw on the track preview with Hunter, with Trevor Hunter. So this is coming into that motocross section and that long straightaway that was in the back. So like as you can see on the outsides, it's kind of chunky and all that kind of stuff. So this is definitely where they're coming in. normally they would make a. So it is a live pit. So if they needed something, they would have pulled into their pit right there. But so it actually is kind of. That's a fun section to do.
Well, Dante Oliveira's off to a great start. We're going to sort it all out for you. But first, let's meet some of the great companies that made Round 1's live stream and this series possible. We'll be back here in just a second.
Every generation believes they've invented the best way. With age comes wisdom. We've come to realize that every piece of knowledge is learned, passed down from those generous and patient enough to teach.
Let's take a look.
Legacy. It's not about leaving something behind to be remembered by. It's realizing that the future lies within the next generation.
Let's call tonight. All right.
The nature of true progress is humbly building something bigger than yourself. Rocky Mountain ATV MC. This is our legacy.
Thanks, fellas.
Business in the front, party in the back. The all-new Kawasaki Ridge.
All right, we appreciate all those great sponsors, and we appreciate you watching. How cool is it that you can watch the action while also giving some love to the people that make it happen? Again, guys, we'd like to welcome you back to round number 1 of the NGPC Series live stream presented to you by Honda. Jack Corpella here alongside Mark Tilley. We are loving every single minute of this young season where the number 1 plates, the defending champions, are flexing their muscles, I believe, in all 3 categories. The defending champion is leading.
Yeah, no, this is a cool, the drone shots, our drone guys are so awesome. But the drone shots are really cool. You can see the different lines. Like if you see Mateo going inside and fading out, his brother doing the opposite. So I know that he's staying out of the roost in some of those things. Some of it he might be looking for better lines, but it's definitely cool to see, and not, you don't have this kind of coverage anywhere else in off-road. So it's shout out to our whole whole crew, and it's fun to watch. But so they're winding back on the backside of the track right now, and a lot of this it's going down. It's off camber stuff that you can't really see as of how this shot is, but you can see the different line selections and all that. There's people that have raced and they're ready to go home, but yeah, it's going to be really cool to see how this develops. These guys are only the first lap in, and it's only going to get more and more intense. So they're kind of feeling each other out, seeing where the track, what's on the track, and what they can do and what they can't do, and wait till they start getting comfortable.
What I'm noticing from this vantage point too, our shout out to our great drone coverage courtesy of Seek Concepts and Skaggs Racing, is if you notice how this track changes color, and you pointed out yesterday when we were down there on the line giving some instructions to some of the younger riders, you said be very, very mindful of those dark black slick areas. If it's shiny, it's going to be slick. And look at the difference right now. We go from loomy roost to dark black soil. It's really a varying terrain out there and a varying level of traction.
Yeah, no, and those guys, they're looking for that traction. Some of them will, and depending on how the rider and how he feels comfortable, like he might like to ride in some of the blue groove sections. If he's not as comfortable, so you see Dare doing a different line there. So it's definitely, it looks like, I think that's Tyler Lynn who is behind those guys, but it's a cool thing to see different riding styles and where you're at in the position. I mean, Mateo is trying to miss his brother's roost and do different lines, and then Dare is trying to miss Mateo and Dante's roost and do different lines. So like all this section right here is really cool to do, but it is off camber. You kind of come up over this horizon where they're dropping down right now. That is that's probably a 4 or 5 foot just flat drop. So
you can see in the background, as I mentioned before, Delano, a huge farming agricultural community here in the Central Valley of California. And I think it's apropos because it looks like you can throw seeds down on some of these corners right here. Perfectly tilled. You can tell it's farmland, and it is wide open, and it is fast. As for the battle you're looking at right now, I think we're going to be treated to this all season long. The 1-2-3 between Dante, his brother, and Dare DeMartille, who showed us he had the speed last year many times on that factory beta, is going to be exciting. And I really look for Mateo to step up, because just imagine having the opportunity to train with your brother day in, day out. Same team, same resources, same mindset. You know, it's only a matter of time before Mateo is able to really break through.
Yeah, and what we forget is he was so dominant in the 250 ranks that he came into the 450 rank and everybody just thought, oh, he's gonna have to dominate and do that kind of stuff. He was a rookie last year, like a rookie, and it looked like he finished 3rd in the series. That's impressive. Like he wasn't up front as much as he was early towards the later stages, but he was up front early. So he came into this particular class wanting to make a statement, and I believe, like you said, it's just a matter of time before he really starts putting the screws to his brother. And I watch him on Instagram. These guys are really active on Instagram and social media to show you kind of what they're doing and what's going on. And I know that his brother had some injuries about midway through the season, and with our not having a lot of time in of an off season, he's kind of still mending some of that stuff. He said that he was in good shape, but you know, some of those injuries can linger a little bit. So if there's ever a time to go after him, now is the time to do it.
Yes, indeed. As we give you a look at the aforementioned Oliveira brothers, kind of our version of the Lawrence brothers in this series, a team to watch. Factory Red Bull KTM, defending 5-time champion Dante Oliveira leads the way. Man who has represented so well in many different forms. I mentioned it many times last year. I think it's one of the best, perhaps unsung stories in all of motorcycle racing, when Dante went east last year and won a GNCC. To me, that was like unheard of. And we got this east-west rivalry shaping up. We saw a few GNCC guys come over here towards the end of the year and do a great job. But I still will say Dante Oliveira, one of the best all-around, versatile, well-rounded riders in the sport today.
Oh, definitely. And I don't think that a GNCC guy
has ever, well, there might be in history they might have come out here and won some races, but I don't think a GNCC guy has ever come to the West Coast NGPC series and won. I know that one of the best in the sport with Caleb Russell. Caleb came out here for a year, almost 2 years, I think, and he wasn't ever able. He was able to get on some podiums and stuff, but never able to win one. So, Dante going back east and winning is almost unheard of.
Well, here comes that factory beta of Dare DeMartille putting some heat on Mateo. Look out. Big expectations for this team as well. As I mentioned, Dare DeMartille got factory beta their first NGPC win last year. He's really been killing it out here in the Hare and Hound series. Rodney Smith, everybody with that team got to talk to Carlin Gardner at Supercross not long ago. They're very, very excited, and they have had a major, major breakthrough in the last few years as Beta continues to become a household name in the motorcycle industry. Here comes Dare to the outside. We've got ourselves
and
a
they're
1, 2, 3
up on
battle.
Dante.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are, guys. Early in, we're only about 20 minutes into this season, and already a great 1, 2, 3 battle here at Delano, round number 1 of the FMF Rocky Mountain NGPC series, hosted by SoCal MC.
Yeah, this is a great battle.
Look at some of those corners, too, Mark. You could speak to this better than me, but some of those corners are deceiving. You can go from Blue Groove to Loam real quick.
Yeah, and then some of them are a little bit dusty, like that one. And then you're coming into, those jumps are a lot longer than they look, but it's nice to see, or it's pretty cool to see, with this drone shot, we get to see the actual action going on. And all of that in that area right there, that's Blue Groove. Like, that is as hard as it can get, and those guys looking around, and that roost doesn't feel good.
No,
it definitely is not. Dare trying to get some extra aerodynamics there, but yeah, it's great to see the Beta team coming in and coming in full force. Dare always does really well up here. He's from Northern California. I believe they said Lincoln, California. And there's a lot of this type of dirt in Lincoln. So it's as they come through the scoring chutes. Now, in addition to this scoring chute is those white poles to slow the riders down a little bit more. And it definitely, it's hard to get through those. But so with that, it looked like in that shot, the SLR Honda of Tyler Lynn was coming up on these guys. So Tyler making some moves and maybe finding some better lines in what these front runners are that are working against each other and playing cat and mouse with each other. So it might be a 4-rider battle here really soon.
That's what I love to see, and it's a treat for us and a treat for everybody at home. We've seen a lot of these NGPC races where someone checks out, namely that man right there. Dante's done through us many times, but as for now, can't get away from his brother, can't get away from Dare. And yes, here comes the Honda of Utah's Tyler Lynn, not far behind him. We'll have to get an update at some point and see exactly where Giacomo Redonda is. I believe he's running 5th, according to our live timing and scoring, 11 seconds off the pace, so don't count him out just yet. Giacomo can sometimes be a slow starter and then have the conditioning to pull back up in this group, but clearly with what we're seeing with this freight train, you don't want to get left too far behind because they are moving brisk, they are moving fast. I'm sure Dante wants to get away, but he's not able to shake traffic at this point.
Yeah, and we can see that's Giacomo going back down the other way. I think he had some trouble getting off on the start. Now, with having a brand new bike and stuff like that, these are dead engine starts, so it's he's got to kind of get his bearings with that. So, but man, Dare is all over Mateo.
Dare is lurking. Inside, outside, that Beta 480 giving Mateo everything. It's a drag race down the stretch. There's points, I'll tell you, on this track too, where it'll be 5th gear pinned wide open. Mark, take me inside the mind of a racer. We're less than 30 minutes in. Dare knows he's going to have some opportunities. Is he studying, or is he looking to get by as quick as he can?
You know what? I know this roost hurts, so he probably doesn't want to be behind him. I think he might be just kind of pressuring him a little bit and see if he'll crack. All of that stuff is, you can see he's going different lines and moving inside and out.
all of these sections right now that they're going through are all on the side of the hill. It's all off camber. So you kind of like, oh, we'll just go to the inside there or whatever. But he's definitely looking for lines, and he can see Dante. He knows that he's in third place right about now. So if Dante started to pull away from those two, I think it'd be a little bit more. He'd be a little bit more pressed to get by. But it seems like those KTMs were pulling that beta in that one section. So we'll see. I mean, it's pretty amazing that these guys are all within a second of each other. The top 4 guys are within 4 seconds of each other. So, you know, if Redondi can find some lines and get up there, then he'll be, adding to the party. So it definitely great shot, great drone shot. It looks like Mateo might be faster on this section of the track because it seemed like he did the same thing last lap. He pulled right up on his brother and pulled away from Dare, but we'll see. Like I said, this is coming up a hill, up over a blind rise, and then they do that drop that I was talking about last. So that hurts when you do that, or at least it hurt me when I was doing it.
Again, the utmost respect I have for these riders to be able to pin these things wide open. And big shout out to SoCal MC for prepping this racetrack. After I got done doing with the sight lap with the medical crew yesterday, they were doing what they call their sweeps. They brought out the grader, which is what we see a lot of times in desert racing, the heavy duty machine to make sure that this track would be perfect heading into race day Sunday. And man, they have done an outstanding job because it is fast.
Well, and it looks like in the Pro 2 class, Colt Nake is out front, and defending champ Mason Simmons was in second. I believe they're also doing on this, I could be wrong, but we talked about on the live during the week with the NGPC guys, they were talking about doing a corrected time, kind of like what GNCC does. So I know that if you're watching live timing and scoring, that might be part of that. I'm not 100% sure because I know that we have different scoring on the screen. But looks like Michaela Nilsson's out front. She's got about 30 seconds on Silvestri. And the other, I think that's the thing to where what we're looking at right now in the Pro Women's, those girls haven't come through the scoring chute yet. So they're technically a lap down, but they're not actually a lap down. So yeah, on the back side of this track, especially going into the motocross section, like where these guys are at now, Mateo seems to be faster than Dare and his brother. He kind of pulls up right on the back end of his brother.
Yeah, what's so cool about this 1-2-3 battle is it doesn't seem like anybody's following. Even with Mateo and Oliveira staying so close to the two brothers, it seems like they are taking different lines, and it seems like Dare is taking completely different lines than Dante. I don't know if that's a strategy here early, if that's just what he's most comfortable with, but I'll tell you, if they stay like this, those pit stops are going to be crucial.
Oh, could you imagine if at the hour mark they're still this close? Like, that would be pretty amazing. But I think a lot of it, too, they're sizing each other up, seeing where they can make up time and drop time. Like I said, I know that when we talked to those guys, when we talked to Dante earlier, he was talking about that he thinks he's ready, but there's nothing like a race pace that is going to tell you if you're ready or not. So, I mean, it's great, like, with Beta making a big push in motocross and in off-road for the last few years. It's great to see Dare on his Beta right up there with the top guys in the sport.
Yes, it is. It's an interesting spot that we're in here in the motorcycle world, too, because if you see what's going on over in Supercross, you've got Triumph out there as well. Troy Lee just debuted the new Ducati Supercross machine, and what I'm hearing, I don't know what you're hearing, Mark, I'm hearing there's more manufacturers coming. That's great for the sport, great opportunities for these racers. I just wonder, in 3 to 4 years, how many more manufacturers are we going to see out here?
Yeah, it's great for me because it's a little bit of job security, and I love it. But man, when we're doing 15 bike 450 shootouts and 20 bike 250 shootouts, it's a lot of work for me. So if they kind of toned it down a little bit, it wouldn't be that bad. But yeah,
Triumph releasing their brand new 450 a couple months ago. We got a chance to ride it. We have our impressions up on Dirt Bike Magazine's website and YouTube channel. But yeah, it's great. I love that there's that much stuff coming in, and so shout out to Harlem Nielsen in the 4-stroke A class. One of my test riders is only 14 seconds out of the lead. Harlem's been putting in a lot of work with former series champion Robbie Bell, and doing with the Precision Concepts, doing lots of suspension testing and stuff like that. So shout out to Harlem for getting up there, and we look for big things out of him this year.
Yes, indeed. And shout out to our live stream premier sponsor, Precision Concepts. Can't wait to see them back here. Always a joy to talk with the Bell family. We also want to thank Beta, the official motorcycle of NGPC, AHM, our call-up sponsor, Seek Concepts, Skaggs Racing, and our presenting sponsor of today's live stream, Honda. We'll see what Honda can do. Well represented with Mark Samuel's SLR team. He put in some miles here this weekend. He was down in Supercross in San Diego, but certainly would not miss this one. Big news, too, with we'll see if Ryan Surratt can potentially step up. I talked to everybody in the pits, and they're like, look, if Ryan Surratt stays healthy, he's one of the fastest guys on the planet out here and can run with these guys.
Yeah, no, Ryan's extremely talented. I used him for test riding for a lot of years, and then Mark Samuels took him away from me to go ride and race on the factory Honda squad. So happy for Ryan as well, and yeah, if he can stay healthy, it's a good thing. I know that he's running in the back now. I talked to him a little bit yesterday, and he kind of dabbed his knee a little bit yesterday, feeling a little sore. So we'll see if that's a little bit more, and those guys are together.
How about Dare putting a knobby on the rear end of Mateo, and there goes Tyler not too far away. Let's see if we stay with the shot for a second. We'll see how far Giacomo is back. Looks like they've opened up a little bit of a gap on Redondi. I think this is Redondi coming on the Pro Circuit Kawasaki. Let's see if this is the number 18 through the chute. And
he's got that bright white Acerbi skier.
Yes, it is. Good. So good start for Redondi. You know, talking about racers' cliches, they talk about how you can't win a championship in race number one. So certainly still kudos to him for running top 5. And what I love, I was eavesdropping a little bit when you were doing that interview yesterday, listening to what some of the guys were talking about. And I heard Bones say, Mitch is going to have your bike on the dyno this week. Of course, the great Mitch Payton. You know him a lot better than I do, a legend in this sport. But I think it's so cool, a man like that who's so busy, so successful, but still has a passion for racing, that he's going to have a bike on dyno. Whoa, Simmons.
Yeah, and there's the Colton Ake and Simmons, the 250 battle right there. So it looks like Ake's got a little bit of room on him. But yeah, going back to that. Schneike is the one that does the dyno and stuff like that. He was Barsha's mechanic when Barsha was at the Geico team. So Schneike on the dyno all the time, doing stuff for Mitch, and having a crew like they have. I mean, Luke in the suspension department, Bones helping out a little bit. You got Camila out up there doing rider support and all that stuff. They have a great team. I get to see them all the time. I get to run Pro Circuit stuff. We get to run FMF stuff. So we get to see it all. But it's great when you go to the companies and see what they have going on. So I know the kind of horsepower that Giacomo has behind him with the Kawasaki crew. I know all the Kawasaki guys as well. And it's just great. Like, it's great to see somebody that's working hard and, you know, bringing maybe a little bit later in his career, but he can still go fast and win. So once he gets used to that motorcycle, it's going to be a whole nother game. And Colton Eck, sponsored, I think he's backed by the TRE guys, Jason down at the Racer's Edge. Long-time sponsors of racers. I know that they were one of Timmy Wiegand, who is now the race team manager for KTM, but when he was racing nationals and that kind of stuff, the Racer's Edge was behind him. So Jason and those guys out here doing their thing, and back in I believe that Colton is Jason's nephew or something like that. So good to see. And then, you know, you got Mason out there. I know that Bob Bell does both of these guys' suspension. I was giving Bob a bad time, and some of the guys that were beating me were he started doing their suspension recently. But Bob Bell doing both of these guys' suspension. I see him testing all the time at Glen Helen. So both of these bikes handle well. It's just going to be rider.
Well, it's truly amazing as we continue to watch this Pro 2 battle between Eck out in front and your defending champion Simmons, that they have already passed the entire Open Pro field, sans the top 4 guys. Outside of Dante, Matteo, Dare, and Giacomo, and Tyler Lynn, top 5 guys in front of them. They've passed everybody else. They are moving at a brisk pace, and this is a continuation of what we witnessed last year. It was a great neck-and-neck battle between them. Eck faded a little bit towards the end. Simmons really stepped up, but clearly Eck has put in the off-season training. He is fast. He wants to get a leg up on Simmons, and I think it's such an amazing story. Eck had one of the most horrific Supercross crashes we have ever seen several years ago and has really bounced back to have an outstanding NGPC career.
Yeah, no, he's doing great, and he's on that I believe he might be on that brand new KX 250 motocross bike. Well, he probably on the X model because they do offer an X model. And showing that the stuff that I know that those bikes in 2025 got a lot of updates, just like what the 450 got a couple years ago. So he's making that bike look good, and him and Mason battled down to the wire in this championship last year, and in some other off-road championships as well. So these guys are very familiar with what they're capable of, or what their opponents are capable of. So, you know, it's if they can stay like this for the whole year, you know, neither one of them has any kind of give up in their attitude. That's for sure.
Yeah, Colton Eck, highly decorated. He is your 2023 Baja 500 winner. He's won a 250 main event in Supercross. He is an absolute stud out there for sure. We'll see what he can do. We'll see if he has anything for Simmons. Simmons highly decorated as well, coming from Australia. Your 2024 not only NGPC champion, but also the Works Pro 250 champion. So what's amazing is these guys are racing just about every single weekend. There is no off season. Maybe they took a couple days off for the holiday and had some food and enjoyed themselves, but there isn't a whole lot of time off, is there?
No, they don't. It's not in their vocabulary. And even if there was time off, like, these guys, they ride motorcycles. That's what they do. Like, if you don't like riding motorcycles, racing for an hour and a half is not fun. So these guys love riding motorcycles. They love to do this. It just so happens that they're able to do it as their job. So, you know, it's definitely a nice thing to see what they can do. And I mean, they're all in shape. Like, even the guys in the back of the pack, like, they're more in shape, I would be willing to bet, than what half the people sitting on the couch are.
I'll put it to you like this. I'm 42. I go to the gym. I'd like to think I'm in shape. I did one lap yesterday. I didn't want to get out of bed this morning. So, again, the respect I have for you, all these other guys, there is just, you can train, too. A lot of these guys cycle, gym, all that good stuff. But you mentioned it before. There's nothing like competing in a race that's going to get you ready for a race. It's just, you can do other things to get your cardio up. You can stretch. You can take care of your body, and all that is important. But there's nothing that's really going to prepare you for this other than being out there full throttle. And it was funny, I watched a meme over the offseason, and it just nailed it. It's like, make a comment to tell me you've never ridden a dirt bike before. And the comment was, why are you so tired? The bike's doing all the work. I mean, consistently, this is ranked as one of the toughest sports in the world for good reason. If you guys have ever ridden out there, you know what I'm talking about.
Well, and you can go through all of this stuff, and it's what we're going through with Jacob right now. You can go through all this stuff. You can train. You can ride a lot. You can have the best equipment. You can do all that kind of stuff. And a tip over in the turn, or somebody not being very mindful of everything and jumping into you or running into you in a corner, and you're sidelined with a broken collarbone. So, you know, it's not only is it very a physically demanding sport, it's a mentally demanding sport. It's, I would say, more mental than physical, because when you're going to the gym and you're doing stuff or you're riding the bike, you can get in shape. It takes a lot, and there's been a lot of really talented riders that are able to do stuff at the practice track, but then they get to the race and they just kind of crumble. So it's mental toughness is a huge part of this sport, and not only when you're racing and riding, but when you can't race and ride. That's when it's the biggest deal. So, keeping your mental game on point as well as your physical game on point is a really big thing to do.
100%. We see it in marathon running. A lot of times an athlete will train all year. Then they'll get to that marathon and they'll get what runners call a stitch in the first few miles. They're so excited. They're so amped up that they start cramping up. Happens here all the time, typically with arm pump, that a lot of these racers fight. And sometimes we've heard from some of these experts, they'll go out there, cramp up, get tight, and then they're able to just kind of battle through it and shake it off. And that's really, really important and shows just how tough some of these athletes are.
Well, yeah, and I mean, what you don't realize is how big of a deal breathing is. Because breathing, if you're not breathing right, if you're taking too much deep breaths, or if you're holding your breath, that causes arm pump and makes your forearms pump up and you can't hold on. And so there's a lot of stuff that goes into this, not just twisting the throttle. And I get the same thing. Like, I hear people all the time going, oh, it's not that hard. All you do is twist the throttle. And you kind of like, yeah, you're right. All you do is do that, because you're not going to be able to argue with them. So, but yeah, it's great to see. We got 4-stroke A. We got Scholes leading. Watson, Brendan is a new person to that 4-stroke A class. Lorenzo, we have Harlem Nielsen, and then Fry rounding out the top 5. So yeah, this is a deep field as well. I know that another rider that I've followed his career very closely, Kodiak Lehman, has gone into the A class as well, just to kind of see what he could do this year and see if he's running. It looks like he's running about 7th right now. So that's definitely a nice thing, to where you can see those kids. We started racing against Kodiak back in when we were on 65s and 85s, and so we've seen that him come through the NGPC ranks and now part of the A class. So it's definitely a cool thing. But just seeing the front 2 runners at in the Pro 2 class, I believe this is going to be Cole Zeller. Oh no, that's Kai Aiello on his Husky, and then Cole right behind him, number 39, going into the scoring chute, the Yamaha scoring chute. And I believe this is 87. That's Pritchard. He's another one of the Australian imports that went out and won a National Hare and Hound last year. So it's definitely lots of another RPM KTM guy right there. So yeah, those guys passing all the way up into the looks like that's 951. That's Surratt off the pace. So maybe that Dustin Davis coming through on his gas. But Surratt off the pace on that SLR Honda. Maybe we're having some issues with that knee. Maybe that knee might be a little bit more of an issue for him. So we can see what's going on.
All right, as we continue on here, guys, in this young season, round number 1 of the NGPC series from Delano, seeing some great battles. Got to be coming up on pit stop soon, I would imagine. And boy, that finish line chute is a real equalizer that seems to slow guys down. Reminds me of pit road on NASCAR with a certain pit speed. So we're gonna sort this all out. We do believe we are coming up on pit stops. We'll keep you abreast of that. But as for now, we're gonna step away. We'll be right back as round number 1 of the NGPC series will continue.
Since 2009, Seat Concepts has been dedicated to making the best aftermarket seats. More comfort, more grip, more riding. For 10 years, we've continued to raise the bar. Innovation and American craftsmanship make Seat Concepts the world-leading manufacturer of power sports seats.
And we welcome you back to round number 1 of the NGPC series here from Delano, California, presented to you by Honda. We got big news. The 200 of factory betas, Dare DiMartino was able to get by Mateo Oliveira. And now look at this battle coming up. Oh, my goodness. We're in for some horsepower theater. We're about halfway through this race. Pit stops are looming, and look out because Dare seems to have found another gear. Here comes that beta, showing the defending champion offender. We've got a drag race down the stretch. Wow.
The beta's hooking up good.
Look at this, inside, outside. Dare has spent 45 minutes behind the brothers studying, learning lines. He's probably equipped with everything he needs right now. Is he going to try to make a pass on Dante before pit stops, or is he, again, just taking notes, continuing to learn this track, waiting for his opportunity?
Well, it's definitely interesting to see, like we said, on these drone shots, we get to see where they're following each other and where they're going in different lines. So it's definitely really cool to see. Looks like in this section they're both kind of going the same spot. But I know the other thing that Dare's going to do is he's going to stay out of that roost because that roost hurts.
Oh, how about Dante taking a look back, seeing who it was, seeing is it his brother, is it Dare? Oh my goodness. Is the 5-time defending champion reeling just a bit? We will find out. A lot of the experts told me last night, they said Dare is going to be scary fast here, and he is living up to that reputation. He has put himself in a beautiful position, and right now, you got to believe, under that factory Red Bull tent and under the beta tent, they're thinking pit stops. It could now be in their hands who comes out leading this race, because right now we are nose to tail. Here comes that factory beta 480RR. Dante takes the outside line, holds him off. Dare back to the inside.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Whoa! Dare gets a little squirrely right there. That speaks to the varying traction that I wanted to point out as well, guys. If you continue to take a look at this course, look at all the different colors, from clay, blue groove, loose soil to wet track. We've got it all. Now into the chute, which seems to be the equalizer, slows them down. I'm sure Dante doesn't appreciate that, nor would anybody leading this race, because it does give your opponent an opportunity to catch up just a little bit. This is where Dante's been so fast, starting to open just a little bit of a gap. It seems like Dare catches him on the second half of the track.
Exactly. Well, and we can see that those guys are pulling out a little bit on Mateo. Mateo might be feeling the push a little bit early and maybe feeling not used to running that pace, but you know they're pulling out. So those two guys are really pushing each other, and it seems like every time somebody in this race, whether it be his brother or Dare, has come up to challenge, it seems like the champ Dante has been able to
Dante
to respond, and it looked like that. So how they come in and it kind of hooks. That somebody has blown that berm out, and now it kind of hooks. So see if he makes a mental note to not do that next lap, because it did lose him some time to Dare.
46 minutes into this race, and Dare will no doubt have his opportunities as he continues to lurk, as he continues to study, as he continues to look for a way around the 5-time defending champion. What a wonderful beta versus KTM horsepower theater battle to open up the season. Dare looks like he's experimenting, trying some new things. Does he have some tricks up his sleeve? Was he waiting?
Well, and he can go outside or inside right here. So two line options. This kind of breaks down into a tighter section. And again, all of this is off camber. All of this is on the side of a hill. So if he goes deep in, then just like what we see in Supercross, there's that opportunity to come up underneath him. But these guys are going 5th, 6th gear wide open, depending on how many gears they have in their transmission. They're using all of them. I would guarantee that.
All right, Mark, let's play crew chief. Let's play team manager. You're seeing a battle like this. Do you want to bring them in for a pit and get it over with, or are you waiting until the last possible second where you think those gas tanks are going to be running on fumes before you bring these guys in?
You know what? They're this close. The kind of
the closer it is, the harder it is, but you don't really see it in like if they pulled him off now and like let's say Dare goes for a pit stop now. If he's got enough to go to the end, if they pit now, it wouldn't really be that big of a deal to do it now. The only thing is if he can get ahead of him and then able to make that pass and put a little bit of time between them, then it gives them a little bit more of a gap. But I'm just glad that I don't have to make that decision. I know Timmy Wiegand and then Dare's dad in the beta crew having to make those decisions. I'm glad I'm not on that pay scale, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it could make the difference in a race. When you race for 47 minutes and you're separated by a second, a pit stop is everything. They will be quick pits, that is for sure, if all goes well between this KTM and Beta team. Incredible battle to open up the season. Is it a precursor of things to come in the 2025 campaign? We sure hope so, and Dare has brought it. He knows you want to dampen the enthusiasm for the 5-time champion, you want to send a message, you do it here in round 1, and so far he is doing just that as this group continues to pull away from Mateo, who appears to be fading just a little bit. Dante a little loose out there in the corner, and Dare is waiting for a mistake. Another factor here that I've talked about on these broadcasts is we're coming up on lap traffic, and with a 7-mile course, we don't have flaggers out there everywhere. So lap traffic could play a huge factor. If somebody doesn't know these guys are coming, you would think that they would by the sound of the engines, but if somebody's in the zone and can't get out of the way, case in point, this racer that they're coming up on, if this racer takes the good line, that could add another level of intrigue. Looks like now this racer has got the memo. Let's see if it continues to stay out of the way for Dare. Yes, great astute observation as that racer is not battling for position. But, Mark, sometimes these guys aren't going to know if the leaders are coming up.
Exactly, and you, especially on this track because it is higher speed, you come up on lap riders way faster than you would at another one at a different kind of track. So it's kind of... So it sounds like we have the interview that we went and talked to the defending five-time guy that you, Dante Oliveira. So let's go to that right now and see what Dante had to say before the race. All right, we're here at the factory KTM pits here at the first round in Delano of the 2025 NGPC series. Right next to me, we have the man, the myth, the legend, Dante Oliveira, who is 5-time champion now. So coming into this year, how do you prepare for something that you've basically dominated for the last 5 years? Did you do anything different this year?
No, not nothing different per se, but yeah, just the same consistent work. Just consistency is key, so just try to work on what I lack and keep hammering. Always trying to enhance the fitness and just bike skills, so worked on a lot of my fitness over the off season and a little bit of bike skill.
And you had a rocky road there because you had an injury last year, the tail end of last year, kind of at the break, and then kind of missed a few rounds and did some stuff, but you still were able to come out with the championship. What happened? Let everybody know what happened.
Yeah, so went down at Washougal, broke my collarbone in July, and then right after that, I was off the bike for a bit. We went to 6 days. I raced 6 days, kind of got my butt kicked, just short time on the bike, and then got back, raced the Grand Prix the following weekend after 6 days, and then Tuesday in the riverbed just went down and jacked up my wrist a little bit, just some ligament injuries, but still kind of beating me up a little bit. So I was off the bike for quite a bit of time. I probably have like 3 weeks on the bike now, 2 weeks on the bike, so fitness is high, just been on the Peloton and just in the gym a bunch, so the strength is there and the bike skill is there because I haven't been doing as hard a moto, just a lot of just minor skill stuff, so I don't blow my hand out as much, but yeah.
Well, there you have it.
Always great to hear from Dante Oliveira, and you can tell he's just such a level-headed, hard-working individual. And while we went to that feature, Mark, I do believe out of the corner of my eye, did Dante pit?
I did, yeah, he did. As he was talking, we saw him come in. I don't remember seeing Dare pit.
Boy.
And that would be Yeah, well, and that would be Dare on the backside of the track. So yeah, we'll have to
Dare's
see.
leading. Don't quote us just yet. Dare leading. Dare didn't come in. So let's talk about the different psychology there. Then, if you're Team KTM, if you're Bobby Dawson, you're saying, let's get the fuel in there. We trust Dante to have the rest of this race. If you're Brody DeMartille, you're saying, I think my son could go faster all alone rather than being held up by Dante. Let's let him out there with clean air. Let's let him lead this race and see what we can do about a pit stop coming up.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, that's Dare towards the back end of the motocross section. So we'll see if Dante comes by next. Oh, we cut away.
It's amazing how fast those pit stops take place. They've got the quick fuel fill. What do you call those apparatuses?
They call it quick dumps.
Quick dumps.
IMS quick dump system. There is a Cheerby's, I think, makes one as well, but most of these guys are using IMS quick dumps. And it's just like what you see in NASCAR. They go in, they can fill a 3.5 gallon tank like what's on most of these motorcycles in seconds.
Amazing.
Like it definitely, it's next level. Sometimes when I was racing like that and having to do that stuff, they would fill it before I wanted to go back out.
Well, they'll do that. Sometimes they'll give the rider a fresh pair of goggles or a supplement. I believe with the pressure on, though, they may be doing the bare minimum, just get them in and out, get them that fuel and get them going again. So we'll take a look at the gap that we're working with.
This will be perfect because we should be able to see. There's Dare.
There's the factory Beta 480 RR. Where is the five-time champ? Right now we got some lap traffic coming through.
So
Remember, multiple categories out there.
There he is right there.
And I'll tell you what, Mark, for having pitted, if Bobby Dawson got enough fuel in there to make it till the end, that's not much of a gap. That means if you're Brody DeMartille, man, you've got to get a splash of fuel in that thing so quick. Pressure now turns to them.
Yeah, definitely. But he does have a decent I guess lead out on him, but
yeah, not as much as I would have thought, though. Not as much as I would have thought.
I think Mateo must have come in for gas as well, because he's dropped back about the same amount. Or maybe I was seeing. So that's Dare right there. So maybe I was seeing Dante and Dare. So we'll be able to see, looking at them coming through. See if we can get a.
Love it, guys. What an entertaining battle to open things up here. We're going to do this multiple times this year. Make sure you stay tuned to the AMA NGPC website. Get the full schedule. Come see us at one of these races live if you can. You will love every single minute of it. And if it looks like fun, bring your dirt bike and come compete. Come race with us. Where else can you have this much fun on a Sunday? Something else real cool I want to show you is, take a look. We want to thank our friends at Beta. They're giving away a motorcycle this year. That could be yours. All you have to do is get involved in the drawing. More information on the NGPC website. I'll tell you what, I wouldn't mind a brand new Beta, Mark.
No, they're definitely have made a lot of improvements in their motorcycles in the last few years. That looked like a bike similar to what I think last year they gave away, a 300 two-stroke. That looked like about it might be the same exact bike, the 480 that Dare's out there on right now.
Yeah, I was talking to Rodney Smith, too, the legend. He was explaining to me what's really cool about their bikes is there's so many different displacement options, but he said the frame is the same. So the bike weight pretty much stays the same. You can go all the way up to a 490, or I think they have a 430, 380, somewhere in that realm. So a lot of different options for guys out there.
So that was a great shot. We got to see the difference in first and second place. We're looking at Dante right now, and he was kind of coming up the hill as Dare was going down the hill. So it looks like about 15 seconds or so.
We shall see. Like I said, I know they're warming up in those beta pits, getting ready for a pit stop. Something they don't have to worry about over on the Supercross side that they certainly have to worry about here. We'll see how quick they can get the needed fuel into Dare's bike. Now, is there any type of advantage in Dare waiting in that you think the bike's going to need less fuel? Right? Is that going to help them at all, or do they want to fill it to the brim just to be sure?
Yeah, I mean, these guys have it to where they know we're 45 minutes in, almost an hour in now for an hour and a half race, but it's definitely, they know exactly what they need to go through it, and it could be a thing to where they are. Maybe they're waiting because when you go and you go from what we would always say is it's light bike and a heavy bike, adding 2 gallons, 2.5 gallons to it makes it, I think every gallon's like 8 pounds or something like that. So, yeah, it adds a significant amount of weight, and then put into that equation that you're tired because you've been racing and racing hard. And the last time you went through that particular corner, you didn't have 16 pounds or 17 pounds extra on you, and now all of a sudden you do. So the bike's going to react different. So they could be doing that. They could be doing to where they get down to a certain point and they go, oh, all we need is 1.5 gallons or a gallon. So, the difference between 8 pounds and 16 pounds is a big deal. So.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Especially when you're riding at this pace. We'll see what happens as Dare is approaching pit row, and his team, gotta believe he's coming in mere moments. And we shall see just how quick they can get him out and if he will be able to maintain his lead over Dante Oliveira. They know exactly what they got to do. They'll be able to see Dante. He will pass pit road in plain sight, so they will know whether or not they get past quickly.
It'll be great to see right now because they're coming into that motocross track place right now. Dare just kind of started it.
Whipping it out.
Usually when he's doing that kind of stuff, he's feeling it.
He's feeling good.
It's fun to watch him ride when he's feeling it because he's yelling underneath that helmet and all kinds of stuff, just having a blast. But we'll know here in seconds on whether or not he is going to come in for gas because he makes this turn, goes back over these jumps and makes a right-hand turn and goes back through the pro pits. So will he stop now, or does he have more in the tank?
Oh,
that's it.
Was that a tear off?
No. That was the cap for the quick dump.
Wow.
So I would say that the likelihood of him coming in to splash right now is pretty good.
Here we go. Get that stopwatch out. Can he maintain his lead? Dare DeMartile, the 200. Factory Beta comes in, throwing off the goggles. Fresh pair of goggles for Dare.
Oh, they dropped the goggles.
Oh, no, drop the goggles. Dare puts them on. Where's Dante? Is he going to beat Dante? Dante takes the lead. Dante takes the lead, but Dare right on his rear fender. And now we'll take it home as we've got under a half an hour remaining in this race. And look at this, Mark. You couldn't have asked for a better situation, a better scenario, as we've still got Dante and Dare 1-2. This is going to be a fight to the finish.
Well, and he's got to put that out of his mind. They had the goggles on the part of the quick dump, and they fell onto the ground. So
I'm surprised they went for that. That's kind of what I was talking to earlier. I was wondering that they may just stick with the bare minimum, but certainly wanted to be comfortable.
So it looks like everything is set for a race to the end, and we have now. It looks like we caught up with Michaela Nielsen yesterday. We might be going to and there goes Michaela right there. We might see what she had to say before this race started. Well, Michaela Nielsen leading the women's class by about 55 seconds right now on the SLR Honda. That's who we're watching. I believe she's right in front of one of the plus 25A junior guys. So looks like she's flowing around pretty good, leading, making up for where she left off last year. So let's go to see what she had to say before this race started.
Here in the pits at the SLR Honda team rig, we have defending women's champion Michaela Nielsen. Michaela, second year on the team, second year as a champion. What did you do different to prepare for the championship this year than you did in prior years?
Last season, about 6 months ago, I switched programs to Tom Danielson's program, which is a pro cyclist. So I got on the road bike more and tweaked up my fitness a little bit. So obviously preparing for this season compared to last year, I'm on the road bike doing a lot more cardio fitness stuff. So I've been in probably the best shape I've been and really feel good on the bike. And I've also been doing a lot of motocross races during last season, so that kind of tweaked up my physique and my skills and technique and just developed a lot last year. So I really feel like this year is going to be a lot better for me, fitness and performance-wise. So I'm pretty excited for this year, and I feel great.
Is there anybody else you would like to thank for getting you guys here and kind of to start the year off?
Just Mark Samuels, he works his butt off. He's busy, always on the phone, trying to make things work for us. And he just started this Supercross team as well as an amateur team. So just Mark works his butt off and makes it happen for all of us. So just him getting us under the tent and around to all the rounds is the kind of person you want behind you. So I'd like to thank him.
All right, well, there you have it. Michaela looks like she's ready. We've seen her ride today. She looks ready. Only time will tell.
Great interview there, Mark. And what time is telling us is Moto KK picking up right where she left off. Dominant, fast, 55-second lead over second place right now. And we are going to try to find our leader in the 450 category, your 5-time defending champion, Dante Oliveira, who's actually coming up on Moto KK. We talk about lap traffic, and this is, to my point, that some of these individuals are leading their classes. They are fighting for position, so that can make things very, very interesting. What do you think about passing room out there, Mark, as we take a look at this battle? Don't tell me that was... We got a heck of a battle right there.
That looked like it might have been the Pro 2 class.
That's the Pro 2 class.
But maybe not.
We'll get a close look at it as right now our live timing and scoring telling us Dare DiMartile, the leader. That may be just a touch outdated. We're going to find these guys in a little bit. I can tell you we're about an hour and 5 minutes in. We got about 25 minutes remaining in what has been a very thrilling and entertaining round number 1 of this FMF NGPC series. And again, we want to thank our live stream presenting sponsor, Honda, Skaggs Racing, Seat Concepts, and everybody else. So let's take a look right now. I do believe we have found our battle, and they're still not too far apart, and that's what I love, because how many races have we seen where the leader just checks out? Dante has been unable to leave Dare DiMartile.
Yeah, and even the top 3. Mateo's still hanging in there. These are lap riders that we're coming up on. The leaders will be coming off to your left-hand side right there. Dante coming into the screen with, like you said, Dare right on his rear wheel.
Okay, here's a question for you, Mark, since you spent a lot of time out there. These are highways. They're huge, but it doesn't seem like there's a ton of places to pass. Where's the best place for Dare to make his move?
We'd have to see where Dare is faster than Dante in certain areas. So we'd have to kind of see where. I know that a couple laps ago we saw him make up a bunch of time right after this, right in the straightaway where his bike seemed to be working a little bit better. He might be looking to capitalize just about any place. Like in that area, it seemed like Dare was making some moves, and he kind of pulls right up on him right there. So this back section might be where he wants to do it. And then that is a lapped rider that we're coming up on, and not a slow lapped rider. So, lapped riders can play into this, like you were saying earlier. It's they don't know you're coming, and they take the line that you were supposed to take, and the rest is history.
Well, that's the big question is, are they fighting for position, yes or no? And a lot of these individuals are. Normally we think of somebody lapped at the back of the pack in a supercross track. You're running 20th. You're out of it. Get out of the way for the leaders. But they're coming up on Moto KK. She's leading her race. We would we would think the ear test would tell you the really fast guys are coming, but as you pointed out, Mark, with a wide open track like this, it could be hard to tell. There could be a lot of sound getting drowned out and muffled in other areas.
Well, and most of these guys and girls can tell. They know they're racing these guys a lot, or racing with these guys a lot. So they know when those guys are going to be coming, about the time that they're going to be coming through. So some you might kind of catch off, by surprise, but a lot of them know, especially the ones that are at the front of their class. They know that, hey, these guys will be coming through. I just need to get out of their way. So hopefully that happens. But I know that traction is not at a premium now, as you can see, in lots of blue groove areas. So tire selection is going to play into a key in this, and most of these guys are running moose tubes that are they're foam inserts, and they're nitro mousse, and then there's air mousse. There's Dunlop makes a mousse, Michelin makes a mousse. A lot of people are making a mousse, but it definitely makes the tire react a little bit different, especially when that tire gets hot later on and that mousse heats up. It can roll and do some stuff. So a lot of those can come into play. A lot of those factors come into play, but these guys look like they have their bikes dialed in, and they're doing lots of testing. So it's going to be a great run to the finish. And it looks like in the Pro 250 class, it looks like Ake's still out front. But it seems like Mason is right on him, about the same as what we're seeing in the Open class.
Well, be careful. Don't give anybody the announcer's jinx out there with tire issues. We don't want to see any of that happen as we continue to watch this 1-2 battle. This is about how they've been all afternoon long. Dante Oliveira, Factory Red Bull, KTM, Dare DiMartile, Factory Beta throws a tear off. And here we go alongside pit road. Those pit boards will be out. Be interesting what Bobby Dawson says to Dante, and what Brody DiMartile, Brody's father, says to him here as we hit the late stages of this race. About 20 minutes left to go to find out who our first winner of the 2025 season will be. Unbelievable. So fast. Dante still looks like he hasn't slowed down at all. Neither does Dare. That is incredibly impressive after an hour and 10 minutes. Here we go into pit road. What are they saying on the pit boards? They're coming out. You can see there's Brody out of the corner of your eye. Dare's father pounding his fist. What a great story they are, too. Father-son unit. Brody just loves the sport, loves pushing his son. Told me his life story about how fast he was and how he kind of had to take a step back for a while and then refocus so that he would have the opportunity and the wherewithal later in life to push his son. And Mark, you know this as a father, that sometimes it's more fulfilling out there watching your kids race than it is racing yourself.
Oh, it's great. It's I've been able to do lots of opportunities with my sons, and now that they're racing and doing stuff that I would have never even thought about. And you're right, the fulfillment in that, it's when they're winning, you're winning, and then when you get to win as well. But it does mean more when it's your son, and it's great to see this NGPC, such a family sport and such a family atmosphere, all the way from the 50cc class that was full gate yesterday and full full row today and full row yesterday, and it's just a great thing to see.
Yeah, it is so cool. And as I mentioned before, if this looks fun, please come out and give it a try. All different skill levels, novice all the way on up. Different genders, welcome. Different ages, welcome. It was really cool to see the kids out there in the 65s getting it done. They're a lot of fun to watch, and they put on great performance. Even, I'll tell you, one of my favorite parts yesterday, sitting on the line with NGPC's Craig Hunter as we watched Dante continue to run some fast laps, is here's two modern bikes right here, state-of-the-art, 2025s, Beta, KTM. I saw some old-school machinery from the 70s and 80s, KX500s, CR500s. In fact, I don't know if I want to harp on this story too much, but unfortunately one man blew up a KX500. To let our friends know out there, it gets a little chilly. It was, I think I felt all 4 seasons here in California. It was down in the 30s at one point. He said his KX500 was pinging a little bit and seized up.
Yeah, no, it's great to see. They have vintage classes out here. My youngest son, Austin Tilley, got his first win in the novice class. He moved up to the novice class in the 65s and got his first win today. So
congratulations to Austin on that win, and hopefully there's more to come. But yeah, it's just a great thing. I mean, in the 65s and 50s, you have modern bikes and you have old school bikes in 85s. I mean, it's a great program for the kids coming up, and everything they get to do is just amazing. That NGPC has a platform for the entire family. If you got a kid that's 5 years old, he can race the 50 class, and then you got dad that's 55 years old, and he can race the senior class. So it's a really cool thing to see.
Great way to learn. I tell people all the time, I see a lot of people in my travels and my exploits with all the stuff that I do on Cycle Drag YouTube that, hey, I want to get a street bike. I want to get a street bike. I say, before you get a street bike, please start in the dirt. There is no better education than what you can learn right here. As we take a look at 250s, hey, there's the 22 of Trevor Hunter. He's got Dante breathing down his neck. So we talk so much about will lap traffic. No, we'll see if Trevor Hunter understands that he's got a championship-esque battle right behind him. I'm sure he does.
Yeah, and it looks like we'll wait here to see if we can see how close the Pro 250 guys are to the Open Pro class. So looks like the next person we'll probably see that's Mateo, so he's still running third. Guys weaving in and out. All those guys are lappers. So yeah, we'll look at here and see how close the Colton Eck should be the next guy we're looking for on his TRE back Kawasaki.
So 24 Tyler Lynn, still having a great day, running fourth, I believe. We'll see how far back. We should see Giacomo Redondi before too long as well. Has multiple different categories out here, like we said, guys, and these individuals all racing for position. That's why they're not going to give up much ground unless they have to. As this Yamaha finish line really slows them down. As there's Giacomo Redondi on the Pro Circuit Kawasaki, top 5.
And there's Colton Eck right on his rear wheel.
And there's Mason Simmons right there. So we've got a heck of a battle, not only in the Open Pro category, but also in Pro 2. Man, and here's a big question for you. So we talk about lappers and traffic. I mean, it's not like Giacomo is going to pull over for Eck. Is Eck going to be able to get by Giacomo?
Yeah, and that could be something like, especially those guys looking for traction and looking for. I mean, that's pretty impressive that the guys from the Pro 2 class have come up on not the slow part of the Open class. So maybe Giacomo having a little bit of some issues going on, but we know that he had to stop as well. So I believe that a Cherby Stink that he has is equipped with a quick dump. I can't see him doing anything different.
Well, that's where you got to help me out, because there's a lot of tracks we go to that are tight where the 250s are right there with the 450s. But this being a wide open, fast track, how did the 250s get past much of the 450 field? Is it that power to weight comfort? Are they still able to tap them out enough to where they can go almost as fast? You would think a 250 versus a 450 wouldn't stand a chance on this racetrack.
Yeah, and you know what? It's high speed, but you can't always get the traction. So you'll have a lot of wheel spin. You'll have a lot of other factors that go in to where getting that traction to the ground is kind of tough. So, and these 250 guys, those bikes are hooking up really well, and they're getting every ounce of power out of them that they can get. So, you know, it's kind of a testament to those guys' skill. And it looks like Colton's kind of pulling out on Mason. Maybe Giacomo is kind of pulling Colton along with him, but you know, it's nice to see Colton out there and you know, putting in those hard laps. So yesterday we actually talked to Mason to talk to him about winning his first championship and how he prepared a little bit different for this season. So let's go see what he had to say. All right, so we're down here in the pits at the RPM KTM setup, down here with defending 250 champion Mason Simmons. Last year, Mason, you were kind kind of late addition to the team. You know, did a tryout and they kind of kept you. This year, knowing that you're going to race the series, did you go into this year preparing a little bit different, or what did you do?
Yeah, a little bit different to last year for sure. I mean, last year we flew in. I think I got here, let's say, 2 weeks prior to the event. And, this year I didn't even go home at all. I stayed over here for Christmas and doing a lot of testing with Precision Concepts, Bob, and, in the gym with Robbie Bell a lot too, and actually lived here for a month. So that was cool. And, better preparation, I feel. I know the course. I know all the tracks now. I know how the event runs. And, 1 year with the team, more experience. And, I'm looking forward to getting out there.
Well, he looks like he's ready. It sounds like he's been doing a lot with Bob Bell Precision Concepts and Robbie Bell, Bob Bell's son, doing the training. I've seen him at the tracks. He's going really fast. And you know what? He's got that big number 1 plate on his bike. It's a bullseye on his back, but we'll see if he can handle it.
Yeah, big bullseye for Team KTM. One thing I really want to praise Dante and Mason for is they both overcame very serious injuries last year to still win their respective championships. For Mason Simmons, I believe it was like a Liz Frank type injury, broken foot situation. For Dante, he had an injury outdoor motocross, collided with Malcolm Stewart, and that set him back behind the 8 ball a little bit for much of the summer, but they were both able to overcome it. And Mark, one thing I got to say too, I'd be very remiss that if everybody's following the news out there, what's going on in the motorcycle world in KTM, we're happy to have their off-road racing team here because we know they're going through a bit of a hard time right now.
Yeah, and I think it's just a restructuring of what's going on. I don't think those guys are going anywhere. It looks like Colton Ake was able to get around Giacomo Redondi, and Mason was able to get around some lap riders, so they got some clear air. But yeah, it's definitely, it's pretty cool to see Mason coming over and not being all that prepared last year, now being able to really prepare for what he's doing. And we'll see, doing lots of riding and lots of training with Robbie Bell. And then again, doing stuff with Bob Bell from Precision Concepts, getting their bikes dialed in. So really, really cool to see. Got to give a shout out to Scott Perkins, who is a friend of the series and then does the live feeds and lets everybody know what's going on before the race. He said that you're doing a great job, Jack. Keep up the good work.
Well, thank you, Mr. Perkins. Flattery will get you everywhere. I'll give you that $20 I owe you afterwards. Do appreciate it, though, guys. We appreciate you guys watching, and we're just so thankful that we have this opportunity to bring you this coverage live in this ever-changing world of evolving media. It is so impressive what we're able to do. Ross Fitz Productions and Aaron Cardinari Productions coming in with NGPC and all these great sponsors and bringing the action to you. As we get ready to go through pit road once again, big pound of the fist. There's Giacomo Redondi, the Pro Circuit boys cheering him on. Interesting to watch the two fast Kawasaki's go around nose to tail, perhaps going to pace each other to a fast finish here with about 10 minutes remaining in this race. So I got to believe that this could be the white flag this time by, with tentatively 10 minutes remaining. Of course, nothing official, unofficially unofficial out of my mouth. But we will watch and see. Like I said, it will be a minimum of 90 minutes. It will not be any less. So if we're in one of those situations where it looks like they're not going to make it, they'll make them run another lap.
Yeah, and it's all up to them on what they want to do. So about the only time we'll know exactly what they're doing is when we get that finish line shot and they show us a white flag or a checkered flag. So it looks like this battle, this 250 battle, going with Giacomo right in the middle of it. But it looks like the guys out front, still Dante out front with Dare not that far behind him.
Taking a look at the 526, your leader in Pro 2, Colton the Cowboy Eck, former Supercross 250cc main event winner. Man with a whole lot of pedigree, a whole lot of talent, overcame a horrific injury to still have a great career out here. And I just wonder, okay, let's talk about team orders. If there is any, they're on the same color. Is Giacomo being in between Eck and Simmons advantage Eck?
I think it's advantage Eck just because there's somebody in between them.
I don't think it's really, because now Mason has to get around him at some point in time, and Giacomo now knows that those guys are there, so I don't think there's any team orders. I don't think they talk back and forth or anything like that, but you never know. But if Giacomo can kind of stay on Eck, it's going to push him to keep moving forward, so I don't see that being a bad thing, that's for sure.
Big statement by Kawasaki, though, to start the year as well. We love this war of the manufacturers. That's what we want. We want all the manufacturers out here 100%, as KTM has been so dominant, but you got people like Beta, you got people like Kawasaki that are really nipping on their heels. You got people like Honda and that SLR team, which we know is going to be tough all year long. Was a big bummer to lose Purbine's Racing Yamaha, but you still have Simi Valley Yamaha out here, and don't sleep on them. Those guys are tough, especially it's so cool that they bring the factory support program. I was enamored with that last year when you got to see that anybody with a Yamaha is welcome to go over there and get their bike worked on and have access to parts. It's a really, really cool thing that they do for the racers.
Yeah, Gary and the crew over there. Gary's been going to. So it looks like white flag is out.
Oh, white flag has
White
flown.
flag is out.
This is it.
Where are the leaders? Like we have the Pro 2 guys probably coming in really close. I know that was Tyler Lynn that we saw. So there he
is, 526 Colton Eck. And there's Giacomo Redondi. Where is Simmons? There's Simmons. So Simmons, I'm telling you, he's got his work cut out for him. He's got to get by Giacomo, which is not going to be easy to have a shot at Eck. That was key for Eck to get by Giacomo. We didn't get to see that pass. We didn't have it in our perspective. But to me, that's a huge benefit for Eck.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's just having to get by another rider that's equally as fast. Might be just the edge that Colton needs, but he's out there going for it.
They are. And when I say team orders, I know they're not the same unit, but as you know, Mark, those green guys stick together, don't they? It's all one big family when you're the same color motorcycle.
Yeah, and it's always nice to see the same color motorcycle that's behind you when they're not racing in the class that you're racing in. That's for sure.
So thank you again, guys, so much for watching the broadcast. Jack Rapella from Cycle Drag, Mark Tilley from Dirt Bike Magazine. We're happy to be with you all year, we hope, unless Mark gets too busy racing.
Yeah, no, I don't.
He's out there.
I think I'm in the booth all year. I know that we're going to do some videos to promote the series as well on the Dirt Bike Magazine YouTube channel with Ross and the crew here. So, yeah, no, I'm not going anywhere. I got to give a shout out to Precision Concepts on getting me the new T-shirt that I got. So we gotta go down there and see Bob down there and get you a T-shirt, and maybe see some of these sponsors to where we can be outfitted with T-shirts and from all of them throughout the year. So it's definitely Craig Hunter in the off season and his crew doing a great job getting a lot of new sponsors and bringing in new people. So it's definitely a cool thing with all the people that are behind us. A lot of the same people and then a lot of new people. So it's definitely a cool thing. They really went after people in the off season, and it's great to see vendor row packed.
Cubic Dollars is key in motorsports, as I've mentioned. The entire NGPC staff worked so hard. And again, guys, like I said, all these logos back here, please support those who support your sport. They're the ones making it possible, making this live stream possible. Even if you don't buy anything, we hope you buy anything, just tell them, hey, thank you when you see them at the races, because so many of these people are set up on vendor row right now. And a lot of them, which I thought was cool talking to them, offer special discounts for people that are here.
Yeah, no, it's race discounts, and it's nice to see Surratt still going around. Maybe that knee injury we're playing it up a little bit too much, but nice to see him still circulating. So it'll be great to see we should be seeing it here pretty soon on will Dare be able to get past Dante? Will the champ hold him off? Or can Mateo make up some time?
We're going to catch those guys here in just a little bit, because we're about 5 minutes away from finishing this race as the white flag continues to wave, and all eyes are going to be on that battle between KTM and Beta. Dante Oliveira, Dare DiMartile, who scores the all-important first win of the season. We are primed to find out who could hold it wide open, the longest. What do you do here at this point in the race, too? You got to be so tired. Is there any adjustments you make when you're this tired to try to avoid that big mistake, avoid that big injury, while still trying to go as fast as you can?
You're just going flat out. Those two guys out front are looking for, and there they are right there, going down the back straightaway, so they're about halfway through the lap. And when they took the white flag, there was only a second between them, and we're looking at about a second. So will the defending champ be able to hold them off? We're going to find out, because they're going into the motocross section again right now. And it doesn't look like he's letting off. Dante's not letting off at all, and Dare's looking for some traction, looking to make up some time, whipping that bike sideways, trying to throw some scrub in there. And all it's going to take at this point right now is a small mistake from Dante to let Dare get right up on him.
Dante Oliveira, your all-time leader in NGPC 450 wins, currently sits at 29. He is working on 30 right now. He is also the rider who has podiumed the most, 43 podiums for this young man. I believe he's 25 years old, and it's been great getting to know him. Great kid, and talking to all of his mentors, they just continue to say the same thing. He's so focused. He doesn't want to party. He doesn't want to go out. He just wants to train and ride his dirt bike and get better day in, day out. Probably exactly the type of individual these factories are looking for. Oh, somebody going down. That could have been treacherous if they ended up in the fast line. Thank goodness they weren't, as Dare DeMartille, an individual with a distinct pedigree as well, who is similar to Dante in that he is very, very focused, head down, not many distractions for this young man. Hard hat, lunch pail kind of kid. Get in, do your work.
And you couldn't ask for a better race. I mean, these guys have been this close all race long. They kind of left Mateo, dropped him a little bit, but I mean, these guys are running a pace that, well, nobody else can run, that's for sure.
So what do you think we got left at this point in the track? 2-3 minutes, Mark? Maybe less?
Yeah, I would say less than that.
Less than that.
Maybe about that, but this is the section, like right here, you kind of come up and you do a downhill, little drop-down double. This section stays pretty slippery, so they're going to be looking for some traction. But like I said, one mistake. You figure you race for an hour and a half, and it comes down to this, and one mistake can be the difference between winning and losing.
And what do you do different if you're Dare DeMartille? This has pretty much been the situation the entire race. What do you have left in the tank? Is there anything up your sleeve that you have not yet revealed? Can you hold it just a little bit longer? How do you catch Dante Oliveira, who has been able to hold this cushion for the last several minutes?
Well, and that's what you're looking for. You're looking for any kind of weakness that you see, going in a little bit harder, braking a little bit harder, hoping that he's going to make some kind of mistake, because he is just a little bit out of your reach right now. You can't. He's too far out there to where you can't come in and cut across or do block passing or anything like that. And at these speeds, trying to block pass is a little bit sketchy, but you hope that he just picks a bad line.
Oh, that could unfortunately be the race, and Dare took the words out of my mouth, because you know what my next question was to you, Mark? Can you get into a situation where maybe you override a little bit here towards the end, knowing you had to do something? You can't fault him for that, but perhaps Dare was just trying to give it maybe give it the beans a little too much, maybe came in a little too hot into that corner, and that was the mistake Dante was waiting for.
And now's the time to do it. If you're not going to do it, or if you're ever going to do it, now would be the time to do it, because Dante's looking at it going, I got 3 more turns, and I got this one won. So he's got this straightaway, he's got this right-hand turn, a left-hand turn, another right that we see him coming up on, and then he drops down into the scoring chute. So right now he's thinking he's got it, and it would take a big mistake, or not a big mistake, it would take a mistake from Dante right now. So they drop down that hill, and here it comes.
Here we go, guys, racing into the finish for the first time in 2025. Say hello to your winner, the five-time champion, Dante Oliveira, but a nod of respect and camaraderie from Dare DeMartille. Nothing to hang his head about in this young season. Hopefully, we'll be treated to that kind of battle at each and every round as we wait and see who else is on the podium here. Will it be Mateo? We believe. Also closely watching to see who will win the Pro 2 category. Will it be Eck? Will it be Simmons? Checkered flag waving. And we still got multiple different riders coming in. I do believe this is a Grand Prix finish, right? Everybody will come off. Even if you are a lap down, when that checkered flag waves, you come off. So, hey, Moto KK loves it. She gets to come off.
And that looks like Mateo right there.
So there's
Mateo
our podium. There's our I'll tell you, that might work into Moto KK strategy, too. She has such a knack for coming in. She doesn't have to run another lap. Loves it. Get off the track. Take the checkers. You know, it's like in football. You got it one, take a knee, get out of there. Don't do more than you have to.
It looks like that would be Colt Mick right there. That's Giacomo right behind him.
Where's Mason?
So
we don't see him. Ladies and gentlemen, Kawasaki Team Green, your winner today in Pro 2. And congratulations to Giacomo and our brand new Pro Circuit team coming in. Where is our defending champ? There he is right there. A game effort by Australia's Mason Simmons to come home on the box. Second place. We'll see who gets the other podium spot here. Is it going to be Kai Aiello? Who will come home on the box? And we'll talk to all three of our podium finishers in each category, so make sure you stay with us, guys. In fact, we're going to step aside right now, but we will be back to sort it all out. Stay with us. The conclusion of round number 1 of the NGPC series presented by Honda. We'll be back right after this.
Thanks, fellas.
Business in the front, party in the back. The all-new Kawasaki Ridge.
I'm Jeremy McGrath, and I trust Maxxis tires. It's the only way I roll.
Ready for RM Fantasy SX, the official Monster Energy Supercross fantasy game from RockyMountainATVMC.com. We're giving away over $100,000 in prizes. And the best part is, it's completely free to play. Top season prizes include customized KTM 450 SSF, KTM 300 SX with Race Tech custom suspension, full FMF exhaust systems and other extras, a KTM SXE5, a VIP trip to the Fastway headquarters to train with an AMA Pro certified riding coach, a year's supply of Dunlop MX34 tires, 2 Stasic 16E dry brushless stability sustainability cycles with accessories and more. 7th through 10th place season winners will be awarded prizes from top brands like Motion Pro, Pro Honda, MSR, and Milestone video games. And that's just the beginning. 10 prizes will be given away to the top scoring players after each round of Monster Energy Supercross. So it's never too late to play. Gameplay is quick and simple. Just make your picks each round and even get into group play to maximize the fun. Download our free app or go to rmfantasysx.com and sign up today. To be eligible for prizes, you must be 18 years of age or older. See full rules on website.
You see, I can see the lever.
On the bike, you can stand up.
Yeah, we were doing this like whip comp thing. I think.
Here, right?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
So right here. Can you hear me? Check.
Yeah, you're like, shut up, huh?
Go, Jack.
Welcome back, everybody, to round number 1 of the AMA NGPC series. We just watched an incredible finish. Congratulations to all of our top 3 podium finishers who we'll talk to here in mere moments. And big congratulations to Dante Oliveira. I told you the big storyline coming in was how would you stop 5-time? And Dare DeMartile gave it everything he had, just 1 second behind Dante Oliveira, but you got to give it to the defending champion who comes out strong once again. Mateo Oliveira with a great finish as well. He comes home on top of the box, followed by Tyler Lynn. Giacomo Redondi with his pro circuit debut. Top 5 performance for him. Ryan Surratt able to grit through a knee injury and bring it home the number 6 spot as the rest of the field rounds out as well. Congratulations to all of them getting ready to go here for our first podium of the year with the AMA NGPC Series. Dirt Bike Magazine's Mark Tilley's going to be out there to talk to all the winners. I certainly hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a thrilling battle, no doubt. And again, we thank all the sponsors that make this happen. FMF and round number 1 of the Rocky Mountain ATV MC NGPC series hosted by SoCal MC. I got to give these special guys, you know, oftentimes we have a presenting club, and the work that these individuals do is just off the charts. They've been here for days prepping this course. As I mentioned, they brought the grader out last night, and they just had it absolutely beautiful. So thank you to all of our clubs that are on board this year for the AMA NGPC series. Again, my name is Jack Corpella from Cycle Drag YouTube. Appreciate you guys following along, and I'm happy to be here all year because some of the best racing that I have ever seen is right here in this series, and the respect that I have for these guys with how they're able to hold these motorcycles wide open is just astounding. We're going to see a lot of tracks this year where that is the case, that it's not going to be a lot of tight technical stuff. It's going to be a lot of really, really fast, tap it out, put her wide open, and hang on type racing, and that's why it's so cool to see. That's why I think it's so impressive that Dante Oliveira, like I said, who just climbed atop the podium, was able to go back to the very tight GNCC course last year and win there as well. So I firmly believe you're looking at 3 of the best riders in the world. I'm talking about any form of racing, Moto America, Supercross, you name it. And our resident expert, Dirt Bike Magazine's Mark Tilley is with them right now. Mark, let's hear from these 3 talented individuals.
Yeah, you ripped at those turns up there. You're like outside, and I was following him. That was cool.
Okay, so we're back, Jack. We're here with the Open Pro podium in third, Mateo Oliveira on the factory Red Bull KTM. Mateo, take us through your race.
Yeah, it was first podium in 2 years, so let's go for that, huh? About time. Jesus, my God, where's Tim? Thank you, Tim, for keeping me around another year. It was a hard 2 years, but I'm stoked. The boys rode awesome. I almost ripped the whole shot, and then Dante got me around the outside, and then I just tried to stay in the fight, tried to push hard. A couple attempts to pass him back, but these boys are animals, and they have a lot of experience, so hats off to them both, and I had a lot of fun.
Well, congratulations. No, last year you were definitely in the mix in your rookie year, so it's great to see you out here in your second year with the same team. The guy, Tim, that he was talking to is Timmy Wiegand, the team manager over there, doing stuff. So is there anybody you'd like to thank?
Yeah, my parents, my trainer, Jared. There's a lot of phone calls on Monday. We're like, man, I think we're doing everything. What the heck is going on? But it was just not me showing up. So just the whole FMF Red Bull KTM team, Damon, my girlfriend, my parents, my brother, and everyone. Thank you.
Well, you definitely showed up to this one. We can't wait to.
And my sisters, and this one's for Boone and Buster, baby.
Well, he definitely showed up this time, and we can't wait to see what you do for the rest of the year, and hopefully we see you back up here. So let's walk over here to Factory Beta Dare DiMartino. You ran up front. You were in the lead for a while. We saw a little bit of a goggle mishap when you came in for the fueling. Take us through your race.
Oh, it was good. I was been struggling with starts all last year, and so did some good starts in the off season, and got off to a decent start. And third, and ended up getting around Mateo. Charged hard for Dante, and he pitted a lap early before me. And I got some fresh air and really tried to charge hard. Yeah, we had a little mishap in the pit, but it's all right. It's the first round of the season. We got through it strong, and then unfortunately the number one got back by me, and I just stuck it there and tried my hardest, man, to get around him again, but just stayed behind him and pushed hard. Yeah, but I couldn't thank the whole Beta USA Local Molly team enough. Bridgestone Tires, Mika Metals, Evans Coolant, Works Connection, Moz Powder Coating, Regina Change, HBD Graphics, Seat Concepts, IMS Tanks, Precision Concepts, everyone, man, FXR, my new sponsor, and Divvy Water. Yeah, it's been an awesome off season, man, and it's a great way to start it. So I'm ready to get through this whole season clean.
Well, you look like you were ready for it out there, and we can't wait to see what you got going on. If you're wondering how he remembers all that, as a true professional, you're reading the back fender and making sure that everybody's taken care of. So congratulations on the finish, and is there anybody else you'd like to thank?
For sure, FXR, Liette, 60 Helmets, my dad, my manager Brian, manager Carlin, everyone at the Beta USA team, Jason. Man, it takes a whole team for all this to go down, and it's cool to be a part of. And Beta is just expanding more and more, so I'm pumped. And shout out to the Supercross guys for doing their thing and doing good too. And on to the next.
All right, well, congratulations. We're happy to see you out here, and we can't wait to see what you can do for the rest of the year. So with that, we turn to the five-time, Jack likes to say five-time. I can't count that high, so but five-time champion. Come out, show that you still got it, and that these guys you put all these guys on notice. Take us through your race.
Yeah, I'd like to dedicate this one to Dave Feeney. He was a great mechanic. He passed away here. Me and Bobby D would like to dedicate it to him, but got off to a great start and put the hammer down. Darren Mateo definitely I felt like a little pace on me, or maybe a couple quicker lines, but I just stayed strong and tried to hit my marks and stay smooth. We had an awesome pit, and the bike handled great too, so maybe went a little too soft, but it was a good day.
All right, so kind of uneventful for you, but is there anybody else you'd like to thank?
Yeah, the whole Red Bull FMF KTM team, my family, my lady, my trainer Jared Becker, everybody that supporting this bike, IMS, MotorX, FMF, Hinson, Alpine Star Gear, Asterisk knee braces, and the whole squad. Thank you.
All right, well, there you have it, Jack. That's the Open Pro podium, and we'll come back with the 250 Pro podium.
Thank you very much, Mark, and congratulations again. What a battle. Those three, I think with the amount of talent on that podium right now, we are in for a treat here in 2025. And not to mention some of the other big names out there. Like I said, I look for Giacomo Redondi to really come on strong with that new pro circuit team when he gets his footing. And also all the SLR boys with Surratt and Lynn. It's going to be an awesome year. And who knows who will join the tour mid-season. We always see some surprise appearances and some spot appearances that throw a monkey wrench into this championship chase. And it's going to be exciting to watch in the Pro 2 category as well, where we got to give a big shout out to the Cowboy, Colton Eck, who gets the win. As you see right here in your Open Pro category, Dante Oliveira, Dare DeMartil. Let's take a look now at Pro 2. Colton Eck, the Cowboy, takes the win, followed closely, just 6 seconds off the pace. Your defending champion, Mason Simmons. Kai Aiello, who has such high expectations this year. Aiello goes on top of the box as well with a great run, followed by Cole Zeller, Sam Pretchar, Noah Gordon, Dustin Davis. There's some new faces that stepped up this year, and big congratulations to them. We look forward to watching them compete all year long. Jace Aldred, Tristan Alvarez, and Jackson Glathar. As we take a look at the entire field here in the Pro 2 category, it will be hotly contested. I can guarantee you that. As, again, we want to give a big thank you to SoCal MX. You see them down there. They've got blue shirts on, blue jerseys. They were the ones responsible for creating this Picasso, this masterpiece. Take a look at it. Such a special area. Delano, the Central Valley of California, a farming hotbed, and it was a horsepower hotbed here today. And nobody knows that better than our Pro 2 podium finishers. Let's send it down to Mark Tilley and meet our top three.
All right, Jack, we're back here with the 250 Pro podium. Third place, we have Kai Aiello on the Hatch Racing Three Brothers Husqvarna. How was your race?
It was a good race overall. I had some fun out there sliding around, finding the traction. Didn't get off to a good start, but made some pretty sick passes early on, which I was pumped on. And then kind of just settled in from there. I couldn't really catch these guys. They had broken away a little bit, and it was hard to find the spots that you could push that extra edge. It was real slick out there. But overall, like I said, in round one, overall a good race.
All right, well, we know that your mom in your pit corner and doing lots of stuff for you. Is there anybody else you'd like to thank for getting you here?
Yeah, of course. Three Bros Hatch Racing, Husqvarna, Factory Motocross Vacations, Fox, X-Brand Goggles, Pro Taper FMF, VP Gas, IMS, Factory Connection for keeping my bike working great out there, Dunlop, and everyone that supports the team, Decal Works, everyone that supports me, my family. I appreciate everyone in my corner. It wouldn't be possible without the great people that support me, so thank you.
All right, well, there you have it. That's third place, Kai Aiello on the Three Brothers Racing, Hatch Racing, Husky-backed bike. We're going to head over to second place over here, defending champion, Mason Simmons. You were all over Colton the whole race. Like, it was great to watch. Probably not the outcome you want, but take us through your race.
Yeah, I got a good start, got the whole shot, and then, Colton made a move on me, and I was sitting behind him for a good bit there and just made one mistake, went off the track and, lost that little bit of a gap and, just couldn't bridge that gap back and, he rode well for sure, and we were both pushing each other, so it's looking to be another good year of battles with Colton. So, second, it's not what I wanted. Obviously, I want to win, but, it is what it is and we'll look forward to Blythe.
All right, well, we're looking forward to it. If you guys are going to be this close all year, it's going to be great for everybody to watch. Is there anybody you'd like to thank for helping you get here?
Yeah, for sure. The whole RPM KTM racing team, Mike, Timmy, Cameron, they've stepped up this year and we're really, got a good deal going on. And Bob Bell, Precision Concepts, Robbie Bell, and Rhino Power, all my other sponsors, Trail Jesters, and, all the other sponsors associated with the team that makes this possible for us to go racing.
All right, well, you know that the champ's going to come back hard for the next round at Blythe. But right now, the man of the hour, Colton Eck, Cowboy Colton is what we like to call you, what Jack likes to call you. But you're putting the Cowie up front, and take us through your race.
Yeah, got off to a better start than usual. I think I was 4th or 5th. Then made some good moves on the first lap. Had a little battle with Mason for a lap or two, and then was able to make the pass, and then just tried to be smart from there. This track was super tough. You could make a mistake and lose a lot of time, and it was really hard to make time back up. So just stayed smart out front and rode her home.
All right, well, with this, I know this is a kind of a privateer-backed effort that you have going on. Who got you here?
Hatch Racing, that's my title sponsor. He's helped me out a ton. McCarthy Electric came on board this year. Obviously Kawasaki, they've been helping me quite a bit. And the Racer's Edge, O'Neill, Bob from Precision Concepts, Hoosier Tires, Aaron Wolf voiceover, X-Brand Goggles, IMS, Fastlane Motor Fuels. Just everybody helps me out. Precision Steering Stabilizers, the Chirbies. Thank you. I'm stoked to be here.
All right, well, there you have it from the Pro 2 class. Back to you, Jack. We're going to get the women up here and see what they have to say.
Absolutely, couldn't agree with you more, Mark. And stoked is the key word, as Colton just said it. We're stoked to have such thrilling, entertaining battles. And again, I think we're going to be treated to a very captivating one all season long with the amount of talent we have on the starting grid out here in the Pro 2 NGPC series. And we've got talent in the women's category as well. And I told you the question there would be, can anybody stop Moto KK, Michaela Nielsen? Well, the answer in round one is no. She takes another commanding win, 130.44. Ava Silvestri, great performance for her, not too far off the pace. And Mackenzie Caverhill, congratulations to her. She comes home on top of the box in what has been a growing women's category. But Michaela just continuing to be a problem for the rest of the field. She is so fast. She talked earlier about how she took her conditioning to the next level with all the cycling that she's been doing, and she looked in mid-season form here in this early season here in Delano. Very, very impressive performance for her, and I know the folks from Honda and Mark Samuels and Team SLR are very, very pumped, looking for good things to come, as we've got so many tough teams out here and so many tough manufacturers. Right now, taking a look at, shout out to our entire media crew here as well, doing some cool YouTube videos and some social videos, and we, again, invite you to please, if you post anything on social, if you talk about us on social, tag NGPC and make sure you give that YouTube channel a subscribe. That's what it's all about, promoting this series. I know Mark Tilley's been busy. He's going to have some stuff coming on the Dirt Bike Magazine channel. As I've told you, I've got 2 different YouTube channels that I've been promoting NGPC on. One's called Racing Jack, one's called Cycle Drag, and we'll try to spread the love as much as we can to give all these racers as much promotion as they possibly can, because like I said, I truly believe some of the top talents in the motorcycle world are right here in this series. A little bit of a different skill set, but you look at Colton Eck right there, and that proves my point. There's a man who once raced Supercross and succeeded in Supercross, and now he's out here getting it done amongst the grace. Not just men either, lovely young ladies. As we look at Moto KK atop the podium, let's meet all 3 of our top finishers and send it down to Dirt Bike Magazine's Mark Tilley.
Okay, so back here for the women's podium celebration, we have Mackenzie. Mackenzie, this is your 3rd one. So looks like you're on a Yamaha. Take us through your race.
Yeah, it was pretty good up until the last lap. I was by myself completely, and I was just trying to cruise and keep it on 2 wheels, and then I had to pit a second time because I have a regular moto gas tank. And then we couldn't get the gas cap back on, and we saw the girl come around. I'm sorry, I don't know who it was. She was in 4th, and she passed through the pits, and so they just ripped part of the seat off that holds the gas tank up so that I could go. And then I saw her fall down in this, like a couple corners past that, and I knew I just had to stay in front. So pretty stressful on the last lap. I came in the transponder area, and I was just like, yes, thank you. But yeah.
So now this being, you said, the third race you've done of the NGPC series, who helps you get here?
Honestly, right now I'm a free agent. I don't have gear or anything, so if anyone wants to help me, I'd be super appreciated. Help me get to the rest of the rounds this year. But yeah, right now I'm a free agent.
All right, well, there you have it. Mackenzie putting her Yamaha in the box. If anybody's looking for to give somebody some support out there, she's looking for some. So let's walk over to second place here. Ava, positive, right? We're staying positive. You put it out there, you put it up front for a while, and then Moto KK got by you. Take us through your race.
I just got a whole shot, but lost it pretty quickly. But I kind of just tried to latch on as much as possible to KK and just kind of see where she was breaking, and then try to go a little past that. But second lap, third lap, lost a lot of time, and then kind of just lost sight of her. So then was out there just on my own time, basically just trying to stay loose. Once I got a little tight out there, kind of just upset the bike quite a bit. And I mean, nothing on the bike setup. Bike setup's great, but that's just what happens when you're out there fighting the bike instead of gelling with the bike. But yeah, I kind of just figured it out about lap 4 or 5, but at that point, yeah, like I said, typical, me to just lose too much time there at the beginning. But yeah, no, super positive for sure. Like I said, round 1, so can't complain. Second is just as good as the first. We got about 8 or 9 rounds left. So yeah, just got to figure it out for the rest of the year. I mean, just kind of. It's like my 4th year or whatever in pro, but I feel like I'm still learning every single day, every single round. So, yeah, I'm just stoked to constantly be on the podium. Can't complain about that. That's, what we do for the sponsors, and, that's what they do for us to support us and put us up here. So, yeah, just round 1, and we're stoked to get the season rolling.
Well, as a true professional, always learning. Great to hear that. Who helps you get here?
Just, of course, Gas. Of course, my parents as well. 395 Motorsports, Troy Lee Designs, FMF, Motion Pro, Blood Lubricants, AME Grips, Fast Company, and just everybody else. Thank you.
All right, so second place. Now we turn around to the winner and defending champion on the SLR Honda. Now, yesterday when we talked to you, you're kind of business as usual. Everything go to plan today?
Yeah, we put in the work for it and during last season, so this round 1 was more on the fun side and just kind of had fun with it. And yeah, everything went great, and even though kind of got off on the start in second, but just kind of put in my laps and then had fun with it there. And usually this track is like concrete and flat track, but still kind of fun. You find positive out of some stuff.
All right, so who would you like to thank for getting you here?
I like to thank my parents, my mom and dad, my sister, all my family watching back at home, and the whole SLR Honda crew. Been doing a lot of different things on this team with Supercross and amateur racing, so we have a pretty rad team here, so I'd like to thank them.
All right, well, there you have it, Jack. That's the top 3 in the women's pro division. Now back to you.
Thank you very much, Mark. Do appreciate it. Congratulations to all those ladies. Another thrilling battle for us to watch all season long. So pumped. Well, we want to thank you so much for watching. We want to thank all the great sponsors. I want to hit them one more time here. This opening round of the FMF Rocky Mountain ATV MC NGPC series hosted by SoCal MC. Big thanks goes to our presenting live stream sponsor Honda, Precision Concepts, Beta, AHM, Seat Concepts, Skaggs Racing, everybody who made it happen. My name is Jack Corpella, and for everybody here at Ross Fitz Productions, Mark Tilley, we'll see you at round number 2 in a couple weeks in Blythe. Take care, everybody. Craig is calling me while we're